It's week 7 of the NFL on TNT, and tonight we come to you from the great Northwest, Seattle, Washington. The Kingdome is sold out. A crowd of more than 64,000 will be rocking the joint as the Los Angeles Raiders are in town to take on the Seattle Seahawks. It's a big matchup in the AFC West. Kansas City won big today against Miami earlier, and the winner tonight stays one game behind the Chiefs. Hello again, everybody. I'm Skip Carey. My partner and analyst is Pat Hayden. You know, ever since last year when the Raiders lost that 51-3 playoff game to the Buffalo team, they've sort of been a surprise. What's with this club?
Well, you know, they're playing much like their 3-3 record this season. Very average, inconsistent football. Defensively, they played well enough to win 5 of their games, but the inconsistency has been on offense. It's been a lot of different players. It's been offensive linemen. It's been wide receivers dropping the ball. It's been the quarterback throwing the ball poorly. But when you think about some of the players they're missing, it kind of explains some of that inconsistency. Max Montoya, the all-pro offensive guard. Bo Jackson is now out for the year. And Marcus Allen. Those 3 guys give your team consistency.
Still, they have to play the game, so what's Art Shell going to do about their problem?
You know, Art Shell, we talked to him about it last night. He said, I don't really have the answer for this inconsistency. It's a plague throughout the league, quite honestly. A lot of teams aren't scoring, but he said we're going back to really basic primitive football. They're going to run the football tonight, take 4 or 5 deep shots, hoping to maybe connect on 1 or 2 of those to change the outcome of the game.
Like the Raiders, the Seahawks are 3-3, and they always play well here, especially against this team. They're 8-4 against the Raiders here, 14-12 against them overall. One of the few teams where the Raiders are a deficit situation.
Well, you know, you're right. The Raiders say this is the most difficult place to play in the entire NFL because of the crowd noise. Now, it's not just a matter of fans cheering for the home team. It's a matter of this crowd noise preventing your offense from doing things, calling audibles when you're driving, offensive linemen communicating to one another, and you will actually see tonight, Skip, the offensive linemen really looking at the ball rather than listening to Jay Schrader's snap count.
Seattle's got a couple of guys pretty well banged up. Are they going to play a couple of marquee players?
Yeah, Brian Blades, the leading receiver in the NFL coming in today's action. He will play tonight, although he had a very sore ankle. And Cortez Kennedy injured his knee last week. He's the guy they need. He will be a dominant player in the NFL in his second year. He is already. And if the Raiders are going to run the football, Cortez Kennedy is going to have to stop that run.
Big crowd here. There's Art Shell, the coach of the Raiders in his second year. He was an outstanding offensive lineman for many, many years. And his coaching opponent, a man for whom Pat played. That's Chuck Knox. You like him as a coach, don't you?
Yeah, I think he's done a marvelous job throughout his career with some, really, I think he squeezes as much out of talent as any coach in the National Football League, Skip. And again, this is another kind of year for him. His starting quarterback, Dave Craig, a man who's really been a thorn in the side of the Raiders in his career, is not available tonight. So Chuck, again, is try to squeeze as much as he can out of Jeff Kemp's performance.
John Casey will kick it off. There you see the deep men. Jamie Holland, number 82. Sam Grady, number 85. Keep an eye on Grady, boy. He can really scoot. He's a track man and an outstanding speedster. We're ready to go, and we sincerely hope that you'll enjoy it. And that we'll have a good one for you on Sunday Night Football. Hope they have a good one tomorrow night, too, but specifically on Sunday Night Football.
We hope we have a good one, right?
Yeah. Here comes Casey, and we are underway, and it's a booming kick, and that's Grady at the 2. Watch his speed, but he is hit and knocked down close to the 20-yard line. He did not quite get there, and that was an extremely big play by Brian Davis, a reserve defensive back. 17-yard return, and Jay Schrader leads his team out.
Well, Jay has had kind of an up and down year, but last week against San Diego in a loss to San Diego, Jay Schrader played as well as he had all season long. Now, he had 6 balls dropped, but he was throwing the ball on the mark last week.
Mervin Fernandez wide to the left. Steve Smith, Roger Craig, the running backs. Craig wears number 22. That's Fernandez in motion. Schrader will throw on first down. Fernandez over the middle. He's at the 25 and run out of bounds just shy of the 30 and close to a first down. Patrick Hunter among those who chased him out along with Rufus Porter. Let's look at the lineups, Pat.
Well, we said the injuries to Bo Jackson, who's out for the year. Marcus Allen has really taken some of the big play capability out of the running game for the Raiders. They have not scored a running touchdown, so that's the issue. Marcus Allen due back next week. The offensive line has had a pretty good year. Steve Wisniewski, the left guard, has a great matchup tonight with Cortez Kennedy. That's a matchup for us to watch.
Galt wide left, Fernandez wide right. First and 10 from the 30. The tight end Horton goes in motion, and Schrader will throw again. It is bobbled and dropped. That'll be an incomplete pass. Everybody diving for the football. Mervyn Fernandez could not hang on.
Yeah, and it was Harper, number 29. And this is what number 29 in blue has done a sensational job all year of doing, Dwayne Harper. That just rallying to the ball. When the ball's up, he knocks it away. Now, some guys get there, some defensive backs get there and make plays, and they make the tackle after catch. What Dwayne Harper has been doing a terrific job of this year is stripping the receiver of the ball. He has taken the next level in his 4th year in the league of being a great defensive back.
2nd and 10 for the Raiders. They've yet to put the ball on the ground. And they still won't. Schrader has time and has a pass tipped but complete nonetheless for minimal yardage to Mervyn Fernandez. He got perhaps 3 yards.
Good defense by the Seahawks. This defensive line, 15 sacks by the entire defense. Cortez Kennedy, we said, number 96, in his 2nd year out of Miami. He is one of the dominating defensive linemen in the NFL right now. Rufus Porter, a guy as an outside linebacker, a pass rusher, has given the Raiders fits over the last 4 years, believe me. And the corners, you just saw Dwayne Harper, Patrick Hunter also having a good year for the Seahawks.
Tim Brown checks into the game as a wide receiver. Roger Craig goes out, 3rd and 7, possession play. Again, they put it in the air. Nobody there. Fernandez and Schrader got their wires crossed. And so the ball will be surrendered by the Raiders.
You know, Skip, the Raiders are terrified of Rufus Porter, number 97. Here's one of the things they're going to do. They're going to keep Ethan Horton, the tight end, off to the left side and cut him. What Rufus Porter has done to the Raiders in years past, and you can see you're going to get it shot twice. And Rufus Porter is going to see 2 or 3 blockers all evening because he has drilled Raider quarterbacks the last 4 years.
Jeff Gossett will kick it away. Chris Warren will try to return it. He stands at his 22-yard line.
Wow.
The kick is a very, very good one. It drives Warren back to about the 13. He reaches the 21-yard line, and there he's wrestled down. 10-yard return of a 55-yard punt, and the Seahawks will go on offense for the first time, as is virtually the case with every punt in the NFL, a flag.
Gossett leads the NFL in net punting. And he is a smart punter because he gets it with direction, not necessarily with hang time, does Gossett.
Stan Kemp, our referee.
Ineligible receiver, downfield on the kicking team, number 58. Repeat, 4th down.
So they'll kick it again.
I presume Stan is not related to Jeff Kemp, the quarterback.
No, he is not. A.J. Jimerson was the man who was downfield illegally, so after that great kick, Gossett will be asked to try it again.
But the special teams in a game like tonight, I think, Skip, where we're going to see a lot of running, or the Raiders came out throwing, but the Seahawks have been running the football. But special teams are going to be key, and what they have done with Gossett is have him kick the ball into a sideline for most of the year, and he's done a remarkable job of kicking the ball into the sideline and getting great coverage of Elvis Patterson, number 43, and Dan Land, number 25, 2 great special teams players for the Raiders.
Boy, and they rave about Steve Ordinator. They think he does as good a job as anybody. Pressure. He got it away. He's on the ground. I see no flag. Warren with a return to the 46-yard line. They almost blocked it, but that's a big gain for the Seattle team. 39-yard punt. A 14-yard return. So the Seahawks will have great field position when we come back. The Seahawks go to work. Fenner and Williams, the running back. Play action. Kemp will throw on 1st down. Blades has it at the 40, and he's down to the 36-yard line before Lionel Washington knocks him down, a 17-yard pickup.
Yeah, Brian Blades coming off an injury, sore ankle this week, but they need him in the lineup to beat the Raiders because what he's great is against close coverage and bump and run, which you'll see later out of the Raiders. He comes out of breaks quickly, and he has 3 or 4 different releases at the line of scrimmage, which allow him to avoid the bump.
1st and 10. Seahawks. Tommy Kane goes in motion. Again, Kemp will throw. We haven't had a running play yet. Down the middle, complete to John L. Williams inside the 30 before Tom Benson makes the stop. He's out of Oklahoma. Here's that Seahawk offense, Pat.
Well, John L. Williams always seems to be in the middle of the Seahawk action. When something good is going in a drive, John L. Williams is generally a part of it. But Brian Blades, I think, is the key tonight on first down. They have to have success in first down rushing. Good offensive line. Andy Heck has got a match against Greg Townsend, and Bill Hitchcock against Howie Long. Those are the two matchups you like in that offensive line. They can well determine how well Kemp does.
Travis McNeil checks into the game as an extra tight end. Derek Fenner goes out. No, Fenner's still in the game. Kane goes out. Second down, 2 yards to go. Williams the carry, and I think he got the first down. We'll wait and see the spot. And as they unpile, let's look at the defense. Winston Moss made the stop.
Good front four. 17 sacks by this front four. Howie Long still one of the most powerful players in the league. Townsend's coming on again. Good crew of linebackers. Winston Moss, who came in a trade with Tampa Bay, has made a tremendous difference, I think, in this Raider difference, playing every down for the Raiders. And again, you're going to see some good corners tonight. McDaniel and Washington for the Raiders, and we've already seen Dwayne Harper and Patrick Hunter for the Seahawks. But a good secondary there. Eddie Anderson, very good tackling free safety.
They remeasure it, and a first down is the result.
You know, Chuck Knox said yesterday, the Raiders don't think that Jeff Kemp can beat them. So what we need to do is throw the ball on first down, but we have to be successful. And if we can have some success throwing the football, we're going to have a lot more success than running the ball. Running the ball in with Fenner and with John L. Williams. So first down is the key to them.
1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Kane wide to the left. Again, he'll put it up. And it's complete to Williams, close to the 20-yard line. A pickup of 6. Benson again on the stop. They're going to mark it at the 21. Jerry Robinson helped out as well.
Well, we have seen 3 first down plays by the Seahawks, 3 passes, and 3 completions. And again, this is exactly what Jeff Kemp wanted to his first drive to start like. Complete that first pass to get the confidence going. Get a couple of more on those first down. Now you find yourself in 2nd and 5. If they can stay in 2nd and 5, the Seahawks win this game.
Blades wide to the right. John L. Williams is the setback behind Kemp. Delay to Williams. He's got a little room. He crosses the 20 down to just about the 18-yard line. Bob Golick involved in the tackle along with Ronnie Lott and Tom Benson.
You know, in any game the Seahawks win, number 32, John L. Williams, seems to play a significant part in the win, whether it's blocking for someone, whether it's catching a pass, and he is a remarkable receiver. And tonight you'll actually see him in shotgun formations calling the protection for the offensive line. So he does a lot of different things for this Seahawk offense.
9:45 left in the first quarter. It's 3rd down, 2 yards to go. Out of the shotgun, Kemp. Oh, drop pass right in the hands of Lewis Clark, but it eluded him. On the coverage was Lionel Washington, but he had enough for a first down. He simply dropped a perfectly thrown ball. Flag on the play. And it's against Seattle.
A well-designed play and a perfect throw to Lewis Clark. I mean, it's really a simple play. You've been running that since junior high school. There's just absolutely no excuse. And when you talk about why teams
pass interference, number 88 on the offense. The penalty is declined. 4th down.
Jeff Chadwick called for pass interference, but that's declined, so we'll have a 4th down situation and a try for a field goal.
But Skip, as you look around the league, everybody's talking about the low scoring, but it seems like everybody is having inconsistencies like that. Here they are in a scoring chance, 3rd and 2. You would have picked up the first down, and a guy drops the ball.
It'll be a 36-yard field goal try by John Casey, the rookie out of Georgia. Georgia has a great tradition of field goal kickers. That one's certainly long enough, and it is good. And the Seahawks have drawn first blood here. They march with relative ease, but have to settle for a field goal. The drop pass and the penalty really hurt them. 3-0 is our score. A capacity crowd on hand in the Kingdom, and we'll be back right after this. Seven plays, 35 yards. It took 3:42. Casey's field goal makes it 3-0 Seattle. You see the time remaining. Sam Grady and Jamie Holland, the deep men, and Casey ready to kick it off. Pat Hayden, Skip Carey with you. Minnesota eliminated Toronto in the American League playoffs tonight, 8-5. The kick is high and short. Grady at the 5. Right up the middle. Gets across the 20 and to the 21, and not much more than that. And again, a 17-yard return, and yet more penalty flags are on the field. It's against the Raiders. A holding call, and Art Shell not happy with the way things have started.
Well, you know, they've struggled a lot, largely because of all those penalties. Look what happened at the bottom of the screen. Penalty yardage from 1990 to 91. You see all the categories. Points, they're down by 5 points. Running backs have not scored a touchdown, and I think they really do miss the versatility of Marcus Allen. Rushing yards are down. So this is what Art Shell was talking about, is everybody's contributing to this inconsistent offense. 6 drop balls a week ago. I think he had 4 holding penalties. He said what we wanted to do really is basically come back tonight and run the football, but thus far all they've done is thrown it.
Some late substitutions for the Raiders. They're all messed up here. Now Willie Gault splits wide to the right. Confusion reigns supreme. Only 4 seconds to snap the ball. Schrader, I don't think he got it away. Flags fly and very little gain, but I don't think that play will count. It's delay a game. The Raiders, wonder how many times I'll call them Oakland tonight. The Raiders were all loused up from the get-go there.
Well, 2 things. A, in the 7th week of the season, that shouldn't be happening.
Offense. There is no play. Still first down.
Shouldn't be happening in the 7th week of the season. And number 2, I'm surprised really Jay Schrader didn't call a timeout there, because this is the area of the field where this crowd can really give you problems. This is the area of the field where you can't call audibles, where your offensive line can't communicate with one another, and you have to go with hand signals, and the offensive linemen have to look at the ball.
So now it's 1st and 15 from the 7, and a very bad field position here. Willie Gault is wide to the right. Roger Craig, the lone setback. Ethan Horton in motion. Craig gets the call, gets a block, gets a yard, maybe 2. Terry Wooden, the linebacker, in on the stop at the 9-yard line. Jacob Green in there as well. It's 2nd down and about 8.
Okay. Early in the game, this is a very important down, really the next 2 for the Raiders. I think they need to get themselves a first down to get this crowd settled down early, because they don't. They've got to punt the ball. Seattle's got very good field position, and this crowd is going to be right in it, and that is exactly what the Raiders were most concerned about, the crowd noise.
It's 2nd and 13. I forgot the penalty. 2nd and 13 for the Raiders from the 9-yard line. Play action. It's tipped. It's incomplete. Making the tip, Tony Woods, the defensive end out of Pittsburgh, knocked the ball away.
You know, some guys just have a knack for that. You know, Skip, some guys are always in the area, but, you know, and they'll jump up and the ball will go in between their hands. But Tony Woods has always been the kind of guy, if he gets close, he makes the play.
So it's 3rd and 13 from the 9-yard line. Roger Craig comes out of the game, and the Raiders off to a dreadful start.
And 3rd down is where Tim Brown has been the featured receiver for the Raiders.
Steve Smith, the lone setback. Schrader from his end zone. Tim Brown. Hayden called it. It's complete at the 30 and good for a first down. Eugene Robinson, a hard hit, but a 21-yard pickup. Nice going.
I'm sounding more and more like Hank Stram all the time. They do a little business on the right. Slot guy on the right side, Tim Brown. What they like to do is get Tim in the slot and give him the whole middle of the field to work. Now, you see the little stutter step there? The little stutter step there by Tim Brown allowed him to get open. Otherwise, number 29, Harper, has him well covered. It was a nice change of pace speed by Tim Brown.
Mervin Fernandez comes wide to the right. 1st and 10 from the 31. The second man through is Steve Smith, and he crosses the 35-yard line, goes down at the 36. Cortez Kennedy in on the stop. He's one of the best in the business. Second in his third year out of Miami, a 296-pounder. The most amazing stat of the night to me, Pat, is that the longest run from scrimmage the Raiders have had all year is 13 yards. That's incredible. 2nd and 5 from the 36. Gets a block, gets to the 40, short of the first down. It'll be 3rd and about a yard. Darren Como in on the stop, the middle linebacker.
You know, Roger Craig is now, at this point in his career, he's not an every down back, but he still can be a force. He's talking to Steve Wisniewski, the left guard for the Raiders last night, and he said the thing about Roger Craig is when he sees a hole, he doesn't waste any time. He takes it right now. But, you know, the interesting thing is I don't think the Raiders are getting enough of him, enough use out of him as a receiver, because he is one of the all-time receivers coming out of the backfield. He has been sensational his entire career.
3rd and about a yard. First down and more. Craig gets the first down. Como and Wooden on the stop, but the chains move, and the Raiders have a drive going.
Short yardage, as we talked about earlier, is just looking for elbow room. It's a bunch of big bodies staying low and just trying to get a little bit of a crease. A good block by the right guard, McElroy, number 77, on Cortez Kennedy, allowed the guard to pull around, and then Roger Craig to find that little crease for the first.
Robert Blackman is the man shaken up, and the Seahawks attend to him, and we'll check on his condition when we come back right after this. Robert Blackman is okay. He'll doubtless be back in the game. Nesby Glasgow takes his place. There's a guy the Raiders really miss, huh, Pat?
Yeah, I really believe they miss Marcus Allen's versatility. A guy that can obviously run, block, throw, and run routes for him, catch the ball.
1st and 10. Schrader will put it up. He's chased out of the pocket, but he throws complete. Very close to a first down.
Yeah, that was a pretty good rush by Tony Woods, number 57, the outside line, or the defensive end for the Seattle Seahawks. Now, what you'll see with these Seahawks defensive linemen in particular is how they get pretty good leverage. It's going to be the the right part of your screen. Number 57 just kind of blew right through the offensive tackle, Bruce Wilkerson, just got underneath his shoulder pads and pushed him right back into Schrader.
2nd down, a yard to go from the 47-yard line. Smith, first down, and plenty to spare. He gets to the 40. Before he is stacked up, Joe Nash, a reserve defensive lineman, in on the stop, number 72. Como helped out.
You said Rufus Porter, number 97, has been a thorn in the Raiders side for 3 or 4 years. He's a small linebacker, 227 pounds. Running at him is what the Raiders would like to do because he's not necessarily a guy that can take on big backs and guards. What they want to do is get him in passing situations on the corner of the defense, because on turf, where he doesn't slip, he gets off faster than anybody in the league.
9th play of this drive is underway, and it's Craig, and he lost the football, and a big scramble. It looks like Blackman recovered for Seattle. He did. Craig coughed it up, and Robert Blackman with the recovery, and that's just what Art Shaw was talking about.
Well, it's one guy on one play, one guy on the next. A week ago, he had a fumble, Roger Craig did, that probably cost the Raiders a chance to win the football game. It certainly is not from determination, the high leg action, but this Seattle team has been awfully good at forcing turnovers. That's their 21st takeaway on the year. I'm sorry, their 18th takeaway on the year. Seattle has done a terrific job this year of causing interceptions and stripping runners of the ball.
John L. Williams is the lone setback as the Seahawks take over. 1st and 10. Play action. Kemp rolls right, throws long, complete, and out of bounds at the 48-yard line. Brian Blades again.
Yeah, 4 first down passes. They've all been complete, Skip. Now, watch Brian Blades, the way he sets up Terry McDaniel here. McDaniel this time is playing in his zone defense, but it looks like a go route, a deep route all the way. doesn't take long to come out of the break, and then when he does, he's working his way back and works the sideline, a little bit like Fred Biletnikoff used to do it for the Raiders.
It's amazing that he is able to cut like that. He was on crutches 2 days ago. The officials call time here for a moment. Let's see what's what. It was an 11-yard pickup.
The ruling on the field is a catch. The play is under review. They're
going to review it to see if his feet were in bounds on the far side of the field. Jack Fetty is our replay official here tonight.
Well, I suspect we'll have an angle that might show us that he did indeed catch this ball. With 2 feet inbounds. There's one. There's the left foot. And he got the right foot in twice. So that is a catch.
I have noticed just watching the games today, they replay more things that are obvious.
After further review, the play stands as called.
You pay for the technology, you have to use it, Skipper.
Well, it reminds you of television. 1st and 10 is the situation from the 48-yard line. Williams and Fenner are the running backs. That's Fenner across midfield down to the 48-yard line. In on the stop, Ricky Ellison, the middle linebacker out of Southern Cal.
Yeah, Ricky Ellison, number 50, the middle linebacker for the Raiders, is a guy that, he plays every play like it's for the high school championship. When you're 17, 18 years old, football was so important to you. He is still playing like that in now his 8th year in professional football. And Dave Adolph, the defensive coordinator, said this week that, hey, here's a guy that really has a great work ethic. People around him see what he does to prepare himself, and he makes his teammates better players.
Blades to the left, Kane to the right. 2nd and 6 for the Hawks. That's complete. That's Kane, and he is shy of the first down at just about the 43-yard line.
Well, this is a nice start of the game for Jeff Kemp, a guy who's been much maligned through just a stupid interception at the end of last game that almost cost the Seahawks the game. He's thrown 9 interceptions on the year, but he's done a beautiful job of being patient, throwing the ball well to short receivers, and in particular on first down. He's completed every throw on first down.
3rd and 2 and 4 wide receivers in the game. Jeff Chadwick, Lewis Clark checking. Possession play for the Seahawks out of the shotgun. Williams, first down and more inside the 40. Eddie Anderson in on the stop along with Winston Moss, but a first down for the Seahawks.
Howie Long in his 11th year is still playing this game hard every single play. But a good block there by Grant Thiesel, the center. That's what's going to happen on a draw. But Howie Long still one of the most powerful players in the NFL who will just drive. You will see him drive big bodies. We're not talking about 170-pound guys, but 270-pound linemen back into the quarterback, or he'll just toss them away from him.
A minute 40 remaining in the first quarter. The Seahawks continue their drive. Kane goes in motion. Kemp to throw again. Down the middle, has a man. It's his tight end, Mike Tice. He's hit immediately, but not till he picks up yardage. Ricky Ellison the stop, a 6-yard advance, and Kemp is picking them apart.
Yeah, 5 for 5 on first down, and that's exactly what Chuck Knox said yesterday. The Raiders don't think Kemp can beat him, and if it is, he's going to do it. It's going to be on first down, and I think the throw to the tight end is the easiest throw for any quarterback to make. He's right in front of you. The ball's not in the air for a very long time, and he's a big target.
Kemp 6 out of 7 for 57 yards. A great start for him. 2nd and 4 from the 32. Less than a minute remaining in our first period. Travis McNeil in motion. Fenner with the ball. He pops it. He's inside the 20, down to the 18-yard line. Lionel Washington, Eddie Anderson, Ronnie Lott all there, but a 13-yard advance and another first down. And Washington isn't getting up. So an official's timeout is called here as Lionel Washington out of Tulane in his 10th year is struggling a little bit. Here's what happened to him.
Yeah, this is a guy that's played as well as anybody on this Raider defense, Lionel Washington. And the way the Raiders play their scheme, the bump and run man for man, most of the time they need a guy like Washington.
Looked like he got popped by his own man there at the end of the play. Washington left the field under his own power. First down again. John L. Williams against the grain. Got about 6 before he's knocked down by Eddie Anderson. Anderson, the free safety, came up to make the stop, but Seattle is moving at will. Lionel Washington is okay, left the field under his own power, and Gary Lewis took his place, and the quarter winds down, and it's been a very, very good one for the Seattle team. They lead 3-0, and they have driven deep into Raider territory. We'll be back with the storyline of the second quarter right after this.
There's Chuck Knox, again, I think doing a remarkable job. I think the flexibility of Chuck Knox has been really his hallmark over the years. Never really had a dominating quarterback, myself included when I played for him, but he has squeezed an awful lot out of the people around him, the talent that he's had. He's run a little run and shoot, he's run the ball when he's had to, and he's been a passing team when he's had to.
Second down, 5 yards to go for the Seahawks. McNeil in motion again. Kent gives it to Fenner, and he hesitates and then bolts forward and gets close to the first down. Anthony Smith in on the stop, but he is at the 10-yard line as they unpile down below.
Well, the Seahawks in the first quarter threw for 51 yards, but 49 of those yards came on first down, and that, I think, was the story of the first quarter. The success that Jeff Kemp had throwing the ball on those early downs. And again, that sets the plate for everything else. You have every other option available to you when you complete the ball on first.
3rd and 2 from the 11th.
Look at that. That is the story of the first quarter.
Clark in motion. Kemp to throw, has to run, throws into the end zone. No. Clark was out of bounds, and he argues that he was pushed out of bounds, and a big rhubarb, but the official waved it off. Now let's see.
The one thing, I think he was throwing the ball to Tommy Kane, and Lewis Clark stepped in front and made the catch. Clark, number 84, is the man in motion, but number 81 at the top breaks to the corner, and I think that's the guy that Kemp is trying to get the ball to. But indeed, there's 1 foot. No, he's out. Take another look, different angle.
The ruling on the field is that it was a catch with a force out and a touchdown.
Oh, they've changed it to a touchdown on the field after the official waved it off.
Okay, yeah, in the discretion of the umpire, the back judge, if he is pushed out and would have come in, then indeed is the touchdown. It looked more like to me that he fell out of the end zone rather than was pushed out, though, Skip.
Well, Lewis Clark thinks he has an 11-yard touchdown. It's being reviewed. No, it's not. Yeah, it stands, and it's a touchdown. Casey will try to affix the extra point.
It sure looked like he fell out to me, though.
That's good, and things are groovy for the Seahawks. What? They lead it 10-0, and we'll be back to a happy kingdom. Be cool, baby. Right after this.
Groovy. 1962 or what?
63 yards, 9 plays. Took 5 minutes and 19 seconds, and it's 10-0 Seattle. Once again, Holland and Grady are the deep men as Casey kicks it off, and it is high, not real long. Sam Grady at the 10. And he is tripped up shy of the 15-yard line. Wow. Great special teams work. Dedrick Dodge made the stop. Just a 4-yard return for Grady, and once again, horrible field position for the Raiders. Let's look at that touchdown again.
Yeah, and the ruling here is number 36 in white. Terry McDaniel pushed Clark out. But for the push, the field judge says he would have come down inbounds, and thus it's ruled a touchdown.
Well, somebody overruled somebody because their initial call was no touchdown. Nick Bell into the game, number 38, and running back. Trader to throw on first down. complete to Galt at the 19-yard line. He was covered out there by Patrick Hunter.
You know, with the kind of speed that Willie Galt has, and he still has that burst that has made him famous. If you could throw that route, maybe the go route and an out route, if he could just run those 3 routes, he could make a living for 10, 15 years in the league. That's all you really have to do with him, because you have to respect Willie Galt to beat you for 6.
Bell is in the slot to the right. Galt comes wide left. Schrader to throw again. Now he's going to run. Whoa, he is popped, but he keeps his feet and goes forward to the 26. Rufus Porter got him.
Well, Jay Schrader, we saw John Elway do that a couple of weeks ago. Same thing. Jay Schrader, I think it looked like Jay was trying to get down. And this is what kind of looks like and sounds like when you're scrambling like this. But Jay was looking for a place to dive, but all he saw was blue jerseys. Yeah, that's a headache.
1st and 10 at the 27. Steve Smith, the running back. Nick Bell goes in motion. Schrader is throwing on every down now. It's an out to Fernandez. Good catch. He had to turn completely around to make the play. It's a 1st down at the 38-yard line. Dwayne Harper ran him out. An 11-yard pickup, and it's time to look at the Marine Corps scoreboard. The Chiefs took no prisoners. There's a cliche for you.
Boy, yeah. See how many more you can get.
No,
the rest of these scores.
Oilers nipped the Jets.
There you go. The Rams with their back to the wall.
Prevailed.
Yes. Okay. What other ones do we have? An apple a day? No, it doesn't work with the Bills.
That was immeasurably predictable.
A flare for the expected.
Yes. 1st and 10. 38-yard line. Bell goes in motion again. He's a load. Smith with the ball, and he bangs forward. That's the longest run of the year for the Raiders. They're down to the 43, a pickup of 19. Tony Woods finally made the stop after a lengthy advance.
Tell you, Bruce Wilkerson, the left tackle, number 60, as well as the guard Wisniewski, 76 in the center. Watch what they kind of do, all of them. That's the block on number 97, Rufus Porter, that gave Smith a little chance to find a crease inside. And again, they're trying everything they can to slow down Rufus Porter's pass rush. They're most concerned about him on 3rd down.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line. Motion. Schrader, little screen pass, flags fly. Smith with the ball and a sizable advance. He has 1st down yardage to the 32. Again, Tony Woods involved in the stop, but check the flag.
Well, you know, this is a little bit uncharacteristic of the Raiders in that they're dinking the ball here, running a screen, throwing a quick out to Willie Galt, but you know what they're trying to do. You know they're setting up the deep throw. As you look at some more scores on the Marine Corps scoreboard.
Upset there as the Falcons beat the 49ers in San Francisco. That game was supposed to be in Atlanta, but the playoffs in baseball necessitated a switch. We watched that game today. A little trouble with offense. The call is holding against the Raiders, who once again hurt themselves.
Yeah, again, we talked about the inconsistency of the Raiders, and it's been holding calls, drop passes, interceptions, all the kind of things, sacks. They've had that the first 6 games. But we were talking about earlier what they're going to do, though, sooner or later. They're going to take 4 shots in this game, 4 to 5 deep passes.
Illegal hands to the face, number 68 on the offense. Repeat 1st down.
Bruce Wilkerson is the guy caught for the penalty.
And of those 4 or 5 deep passes, Skip, it does 2 things. It sets up all the shorter routes and intermediate routes, and they believe, Art Shell believes, they can hit 1 or 2 of those, and in a game like this, that can change the game.
1st and 20 from their own 47 for the Raiders. Schrader to throw. Has some time. Throws and a diving catch and a good play at the 45-yard line. Ethan Horton, the tight end.
Ethan Horton is really developing as a receiver. Caught a touchdown last week against San Diego. Terry Robisky, the offensive coordinator, spends a lot of time with Ethan Horton. Was a running back in college. They've converted him to a tight end. He's been there for a couple of years now. And each week, it seems like Ethan Horton becomes more and more of a polished player, polished tight end. We've seen him block Rufus Porter a couple times, dominate there, and then he makes a nice fingertip catch.
2nd and 12 from the 45-yard line. Powers his way forward, breaks a couple of tackles. He's 4 or 5 yards short of the first down, but a good advance nonetheless. Nick Bell, they really like him, a 2nd-round draft choice out of Iowa.
Yeah, 255 pounds. I mean, it's like having another guard in the backfield, but he's nimble like a halfback. I mean, he really does have some moves. He can make people miss. He can spin, he can turn, and then he can run over you like this. But you're going to need 2 or 3 blue jerseys to bring Nick Bell down.
3rd and 5 is our situation. Tim Brown is checked into the game. As Pat told you, he's their 3rd down guy. No flag. It's incomplete.
Okay, Ethan Horton was wide open. Number 88.
Brown is really upset, and I don't blame him. That looks like pass interference, but no call forthcoming.
I tell you, if he is that covered, somebody's got to be open. If 2 guys are covering Tim Brown like that, somebody else has to be open. And that was the guy. Ethan Horton looked like he came wide open.
So it's 4th down, 5 yards to go from the 38-yard line, and Jeff Jager will come in and try to kick a long one.
Now, the Seahawks were saying they believe they can block a field goal tonight. And it's going to come right from the middle if they can do it.
56-yard try. It's up, and it is going to be short. Right down the middle, but just a little bit short. So the score stays the same. It's 10-0 Seahawks. We have 9:18 remaining in the first half at the Kingdom. A capacity crowd on hand. Blades wide to the right as the Seahawks go to work. Lionel Washington is back in the game, and that's good news. Fenner with the pitch, and he dives to the 40-yard line.
You know, this has also been a game of field position, and the Seahawks are winning that battle. The Seahawks have started their drives. Their average start is on their 40-yard line. The Raiders on their 15. And when you have 2 good defenses like we have tonight, it is tough to drive 85 yards. Actually, you have about a 1 in 15 chance of scoring when you have to go 85 yards.
2nd down, 8 yards to go. Split wide to the left. Kemp will throw. Oh, it's incomplete, almost intercepted. It went off the fingertips of Mike Tice, and Eddie Anderson made the diving try.
Mike Tice is a guy who has forged an 11-year career. When you know he arrived here as a long shot. The ball just was thrown behind him. As a long shot in 1981, he was a 6'7" quarterback with a pretty bad arm, quite honestly, but he's survived 11 years now as a tight end.
Speaking of big quarterbacks, disappointed that Dan McGuire is not eligible. We were looking forward to seeing him, the rookie out of San Diego State. Possession play here, 3rd and 8. Kemp out of the shotgun. He throws incomplete, intended for Kane. Boy, and Blades is upset. He was all by himself right down the middle at the 50-yard line, but Kemp didn't see him.
Yeah, that's awfully good coverage by Gary Lewis, one of the nickel corners for the Raiders, number 21. He did a terrific job on Tommy Kane.
I mentioned Blades. Keep an eye on number 89 here.
Just across the middle. He beats McDaniel very quickly and is wide open, but I think Kemp had committed so quickly on the route because he had to get rid of it to throw that kind of route. Didn't see him.
Rick Tootin, who just joined the Seahawks, will kick it to Tim Brown. He gets it away, and it's a terrific kick. They'll let it bounce, and it gets into the end zone. The Bootin' Tootin' did his thing. A 60-yard punt, no return. And so the Raiders will go to work at their own 20 with 8:19 left in the quarter.
Well, Skip, I don't know what the dilemma is here, but there has been a conference by the officials because when the ball was punted the end zone, Elvis Patterson, right there, number 43, ran back the end zone and ran it back all the way into the Seahawk end zone, and the Raiders are claiming now it should be a touchdown. But to me, it's a touchback with the Raiders getting the ball on the 20.
The penalty on the play is too many men on the field on the receiving team, too many men on the field on the kicking team. The penalty's offset. We're going to replay fourth down.
That sounded like some confusion. They weren't sure either what happened. It was bizarre.
Glad you're the analyst, because I don't have any idea. He kicked the ball in the end zone. That's a touchback, and they should have it at the 20. But both teams, they say, had too many men on the field, and we hope to get a clarification of what really went on there. But we'll have another kick forthcoming here. Let's look at this and see if we can...
Here's the punt by Tootin. It was a good punt. Brown lets it go in the end zone. Now, ordinarily, the field judge will give you the signal for the touchback. But quite honestly, I turned my head, and then next thing you know, Elvis Patterson had picked the ball up and started sprinting down the sideline.
In any event, as the old joke goes, nevertheless, they'll kick it again, and Tootin will boot another one away.
Well, Elvis Patterson, the coaches from the Seahawks are saying, is the best special teams player in the NFL today.
Now, how can they review how many men are on the field?
Well, that shouldn't be a reviewable penalty.
Confusion reigns supreme in the kingdom.
Yeah, men in the field is not reviewable.
I think we've been in too many domes lately. We're getting a little dingy here. Strange things are going on.
What Patterson is arguing is that because Tim Brown didn't call a fair catch and perhaps the whistle didn't blow, he's just going to run it back.
After further review, the play stands as called. Repeat fourth down.
Now, that doesn't give us much of an explanation.
Ball should be dead, and the official should have signaled it dead, but now they say both teams, or each team, had 12 men on the field.
Yeah, that's
a likely story.
Which is not reviewable. The side judge ordinarily gives you the signal for the touchback as soon as the ball goes in the end zone.
So Tootin, who just kicked 160 yards, will try it again. And Tim Brown will try to return it. It's not as good a kick, but still a pretty good one, and Brown makes a fair catch at the 20-yard line. And so that's where the hostilities will begin, a 40-yard punt and no return.
Well, let's count the Seahawks here. See what we have. 12. We got 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It looked like to me there. You got 10, not 12.
And they called too many men on the field. That's why he's a
figure
Rhodes.
That one out. Yeah. I didn't have to take off my shoes and socks either.
That's why he's a Rhodes Scholar, folks. He got all the way up to 10. And the officials say too many men on the field. Okay. Well, Elvis Patterson got some exercise, and now the Raiders go to work. And it's on the 20-yard line where it should have been in the first place. Schrader to throw, and he does, and it's the tight end, Horton, and he pulls his way close to the 30-yard line. He goes to they mark it at the 29. Now Pat's going to get a chance to count again. This time the Raiders.
Another chance with the Raiders. Let's see. You have 2 here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and there's 1 in the back. That's 11.
So that's a total of 21.
That's
bingo.
A, it's not reviewable, and B, it's the wrong call.
But they took time to review it nonetheless. Second down and a short one.
A fumble.
Fumble by Smith. Loose football. Who got it? Seahawks say they do. They do.
Tony Woods, I think, right? That's 2 big plays tonight by Tony Woods. Remember early in the first quarter, Schrader was rolling out, was wide open, and he tipped the ball, and now he comes up for recovery. Now, that's the 19th. There it is. Great minds think along the same lines. 19th takeaway by this Seahawk defense. And what they do is you get a lot of bodies around the ball carrier. One guy stops him, and the next guy starts stripping it, start trying to take it away. Terrific play by Wooden, number 90, who actually stopped him first and then began to pull the ball away. Terry Wooden.
So the Seahawks have it again. They're in Raider territory at the 34. Kemp, play action. He throws. He's got a man, and he missed it.
He had him wide open.
Tommy Kane out of Syracuse threw it behind him. Kane would have been close to the goal line when the play wound up, but he and Kemp misfired.
Yeah, beautiful clear-out route by the wide receiver Blades on the other side. See, you see the feet going by. That cleared out that entire zone for Kane to come behind. Now, if that ball is thrown out in front of him, he catches it and goes down the sideline. Blades clears out the zone. Kane comes across. That should have been a touch.
Winston Moss was the linebacker trailing the play. That's the first incompletion on first down for the Seahawks and Kemp tonight. 2nd and 10 from the 34. Kemp has time, throws. Kane has this one at the 30. He's to the 20, and down he goes. First down, Seattle. Terry McDaniel on the stop, but another first down, and the Seahawks are moving at will against a pretty good defense.
Tommy Kane is one of those guys, if you just give him enough chances, he's going to do something with the ball after the catch. And again, he's always working and setting up his defenders. You'll see him run a lot of different kind of routes. We've seen him run outs, we've seen him run crossing routes, and that was the hook. But it starts with blocking, and it starts here with Howie Long. You've got to take care of Howie Long if you're going to have a chance to complete passes like that. But it did take 2 Seahawks to do it.
First down at the 20. Fenner bangs forward down to the 17-yard line. In on the stop, Eddie Anderson and Ricky Ellison.
Well, that time Fenner ran right through the tackle of Howie Long. Howie Long scraping down the line, but Fenner has had a disappointing season, quite honestly, this year for the Hawks. But watch Long. What he can do is he can stuff you there. See Millar, see how he gets his hands out, stops the line of scrimmage, just gets his head on the wrong side, and Derek Fenner is just such a big, strong back that he's going to run through tackles if you don't get your head on the right side.
2nd down, 7 yards to go from the 17-yard line. Fenner and Williams are the running backs. Fenner goes in motion. Kemp to throw. He's under pressure, and he threw it away. Nobody near him, and it's got to be flag is thrown, and that'll be a late hit against the
it's going to
Raiders, perhaps.
I think it was grounding.
Yeah, grounding is going to be the call. There was nobody in the end zone. The crowd here doesn't like that.
You know, it's interesting. I think some offenses really have an outlet receiver so that if a quarterback gets in a situation, you just throw it in the dirt right by somebody's feet. But there is absolutely no one even close to being that.
Number 11 on the offense.
The ball landed in the right corner of the end zone.
3rd down.
And I don't see too many blue jerseys over there.
Or any jerseys, period.
No, the side judge is there, right?
Wonder how many men were on the field on that play. Well, now it's 3rd and 20.
This is where Jeff Kemp has had some of his biggest errors on these kind of situations. Can't take a sack, can't throw the turnover, can't throw the interception.
Chadwick in motion. Kemp rolls left. Boy, he's got a lot of room to run. Throws instead, has a man. It is complete. First down, 11-yard line.
Talk about
19-yard pickup to Blades.
Working the sideline. Brian Blades did an absolute fabulous job of going up and catching this ball with his hands while simultaneously keeping the feet in.
He did not get enough for the first down. He's about a yard away.
Yeah, but after a catch like that, you got to go for it. I mean, that is just one terrific play, and that is why Brian Blades, one of the reasons why he was leading the league in receptions coming in today's game, because he's beaten a very good defensive back in McDaniel. He has worked the sideline tonight wonderfully. That's a real feel for the game.
Now time is called.
They'll review it, but that was a catch.
They review everything.
No doubt. Yeah, I mean, these are really rather obvious.
Boy, and the side judge was right there to make the call.
The ruling on the field was catch After further review, the play stands. 4th down.
There we go.
So it's 4th and just less than a yard. 2 tight ends in the game. Williams and Fenner are the running backs. Fenner pulls his way forward. Did he get enough? He's right at the 10-yard line.
I don't know if he got enough, but Ricky Ellison, middle linebacker for the Raiders, sure read the play.
They'll measure this.
Ricky Ellison came right from the middle. Watch how he's going to time. He's just going to he's going to time it perfectly and just dive over the top. Again, you know you got to fight through a lead blocker. He fights through Williams and then gets a piece of Fenner. That's pretty good linebacker.
No, sir, he did not get it.
Yeah, give that one to Ricky Ellison.
So the Raiders have held, and that might change the entire game.
Yeah, you know, the Raiders are not good enough right now to turn the ball over. What we've seen this first half is 2 Raider turnovers. But a defensive play like that can really get the momentum turned around.
And we'll see if it does when we come back in just a moment. 10-0 Seahawks is our score. 1st and 10 for the Raiders. Play action. Schrader's going long, and he's going for Galt. And the pass is underthrown, and it's intercepted. And the Seahawks are returning Eugene Robinson. And he's down at the 47-yard line. 22-yard return after the interception.
Skip, that was just great coverage by number 27, Patrick Hunter. Patrick Hunter, see, Galt tries to run by him, but he's got his head turned the whole way. The ball is a little bit underthrown. Terrific play by Hunter, tips the ball up right into Robinson. That was interception by Robinson, but 90% of it was because of excellent coverage by number 27, Patrick Hunter.
Schrader threw that ball 65 yards in the air, but it was an interception, and Hunter, 7-year man out of Nevada, made a heck of a play.
Yeah, but he would have had to throw it 75 yards, really, because Galt could have gotten there, but which means you have to throw the ball earlier to Galt.
Seahawks have had the ball all night long, and they have it again. And on 1st down, Kemp goes for all of it. He underthrows the ball, and that is intercepted down around the...
No,
they say he's out of bounds. It was Lionel Washington who made the interception, but out of bounds, and he is really upset.
We are seeing some defensive back play tonight. I mean, all 4 of these guys, the starting corners, have done just a terrific job of making play. Here's Lionel Washington, number 48. Remember, we went out earlier with an injury. You talk about adjusting to the ball. Receivers can't do it that well. That's an interception.
Well, he's in bounds easily.
Unless he didn't have possession, but that should be an interception. That should be an interception. So I have never seen more funny replay calls than we've had tonight.
And here's yet another one. Jack Fetty needs combat pay. He's the replay official.
Now, first of all, wonderful adjustment by Lionel Washington.
Certainly we do not have a reception. The play is under review.
It sure looked like he had both feet in there to me. The only question was, Skip, did he have? Was he in fact juggling it somehow when he was going down? But it didn't look like it.
Here's another look. This is got to be an interception.
Yeah, that's the best angle. Yeah,
that's pretty obvious, I think. And you're right. The only thing is if he bobbled the ball, but the official did not indicate that.
No.
So.
These guys are working overtime, but there's been some strange ones tonight. Very strange.
So the beat goes on here.
After further review, we have a reversal.
It's an interception.
That's a right call.
The instant replay ruling is interception. 1st down.
So back-to-back terrific plays by defensive backs, and the Raiders will get it back one more time.
Deep in their own territory with 4:56 left. Al Davis.
You don't think he's involved? How many owners do you know they're actually up there diagramming plays like Al was just there?
He is a very interesting gentleman, Al Davis. See where they mark the ball. It's going to be at the 9-yard line. Nick Bell and Steve Smith are the running backs now for the Raiders.
Well, the Raiders have had horrible field position, but they've gotten a couple of breaks here, Skip. Now with 4:56 remaining in the half, and they're down by 10 points, this is the time, if they're ever going to get something going, this is it. And it starts with somebody making a play. And what does that mean, making a play? It means somebody doing something a little bit unusual, unexpected. You know, catching a crowd on third down, stopping somebody when you have to. But the Raiders haven't had any of that, quote, making a play this season.
Now the officials realize that the ball should be back at the 5-yard line, and that's where they mark it. The Raiders have started at their own 19, then the 12, then the 14, then the 20, then the 11, and now the 6. Schrader will throw. Complete, but shy of the 10-yard line. Tim Brown with the reception. Dwayne Harper with the stop.
You should have seen the cushion that Patrick Hunter had given Willie Gault that time. I mean, it was a 15-yard cushion. Gault hooked in front of him, but Schrader went the other way to Brown. That's Terry Ravitsky on the left, the offensive coordinator for the Raiders. Said, hey, what we need to do is have somebody step forward and make a couple of plays. Do it when the game is on the line, when we need it. This is one of those times for the Raiders.
Nick Bell comes wide to the left. 2nd and 7. All alone down the middle, Tim Brown. He's brought down at the 18. That's enough for a first down. Darren Como, the middle linebacker, made the stop, a 10-yard pickup.
You know, watching Tim Brown play is a little bit like watching, you know, a basketball game when you clear out a side for a guy. That's what the Raiders try to do with Tim Brown. Get him in the middle of the field, let him work it. Because he's got a great sense of where people are, where he is, and what to do with the ball after he catches it.
1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. Time is becoming a factor here. 3:40 left in the first half. Nick Bell goes in motion now into the pattern. Flags fly. Completed pass to Gault. Yet another flag. So we've got a holding penalty and a probable interference penalty here as well. We'll let the officials sort all this out. They've had a busy night of it. Our referee is Stan Kemp.
Well, again, that was awfully good coverage by Patrick Hunter, even though Gault caught that one. Wow. And a perfect throw by Schrader.
We've got interference on the Seahawks, but what about that other flag way back at the 12-yard line?
Illegal hands to the face, number 66 on the offense. Pass interference, number 25 on the defense. The penalties will offset.
Offsetting penalties against Steve Wright and Robert Blackman. Wright of the Raiders, Blackman of the Seahawks, so we'll do it all over again. 1st and 10 at the 19, now 3:24 left. Watch number 66.
Yeah, it's way in the top of the screen, number 66. Right there, yeah. A good call. He had Jacob Green right by the face mask.
1st and 10 from the 19. Schrader throwing on virtually every down. Now he has to run for his life to the 23-yard line. Woods and Como involved on the stop. Into the game comes the sprinter Sam Grady out of Tennessee.
Sam Grady, number 85 for the Raiders, is a guy that Fred Bolitnikoff has been spending a lot of time with. Came in as one of those speed guys that really didn't know much about running patterns, but he has developed into quite a receiver.
2nd and 6 from the 23. Intercepted, on his way for a touchdown is Patrick Hunter.
What defensive back play we have seen tonight. Here's Patrick Hunter. Here's the receiver who's going to run the out route. But Patrick Hunter, watch, first of all, how he watches Schrader. As soon as he sees Schrader stops, he stops. The receiver turns a little bit. The ball poorly thrown behind Grady, and an easy interception by Hunter. I have seen Schrader throw a number of interceptions to his left. He seems to, when he throws the out route to his left side, to throw the ball behind the receiver a lot.
That was a 32-yard return. And now Casey makes it 17-0. 17-0 is our score. And now the Raiders really have their backs to the wall.
Patrick Hunter and Dwayne Harper, the corners, have done just a marvelous job on some very good receivers of the Raiders. You see, his head is pointed into Schrader. As soon as Schrader plants, he plants, and then he's gone. The ball poorly thrown, but even if it were well thrown, I think Hunter had such a break on it, he's going to at least knock it down. But that is as well as the defensive back position can be played right there.
And you can see Robert Blackman knew right away there was nobody that was going to catch Hunter.
You know, what we've seen Hunter do, we've seen him cover Galt deep, and that time Grady on the out route. So he's done a little bit of everything.
He's proven that he can play this game. And now what must the Raiders do to, you know, the old cliche is don't panic, but if I'm the Raiders, it's about time to panic.
Well, they're down 17-0. Remember, the Raiders, the most points they have scored in a game this year is 17 points. This is not a high-scoring team, in spite of all the tremendous explosive athletes they have. And there's what you see what's happening week by week. 2 17-point games. They've had losses in week 5 against the Raiders, who they didn't even score a touchdown. They're only averaging 15 points a game, so this is clearly not their type of game. But what's going to have to happen, I think, their defense is going to have to create a turnover, too, if they're going to have a chance.
John Casey will kick it away to Sam Grady, number 85, Jamie Holland, number 82. Another very high kick, and it's Grady at the 5. To the 24 and no further than that, and he really got popped. It was Rod Stevens out of Georgia Tech, a reserve linebacker, who made the hit.
Yeah, this is one of these special teamers. Rod Stevens for the Seahawks has done this all year long. I mean, this is not a natural thing, believe me, Skip, to line up 60 yards downfield, run as fast as you can, and try to collide with some other guys, big bodies running fast. But Stevens does it pretty well.
Were you ever involved in special teams
I was
play?
the wedge breaker. I used to have me go down the... Well, you know, the problem was nobody would wait up for me. I couldn't get down there in time to break up the wedge.
In Little League today, maybe. Roger Craig, the lone running back. The Raiders in trouble, down by 17 here. Little screen pass. It's Craig, and he's caught from behind at the 27-yard line by Joe Nash out of Boston College. The flag on the play. There have been a lot of those tonight.
What hustle by Joe Nash, though? I mean...
Illegal receiver downfield is the call by Stan Kemp.
That's a terrific play by Joe Nash. So, because basically he's playing nose tackle, and then he's going to rush the passer, and then he's going to run over and make a play. But there's the hold, I think it was on Kennedy. But, you know, you get guys hustling like Joe Nash has and Jacob Green.
Ineligible receiver downfield, number 66 on the offense. Repeat first down.
And Cortez Kennedy, you get those guys hustling like that on defense, and not too many people are going to score a lot of points on you.
So it's 1st and 20 at the 14, and we're going to reach the 2-minute warning right now.
But, you know, week 7 for the Raiders has been just like the first 6 weeks. No consistency in offense. Penalties, drop balls, turnovers.
And it certainly keeps heading that way this evening. We'll be back.
Offense really has always been a matter of rhythm and confidence, and the Raiders have neither of those right now.
Fernandez to the right, Galt to the left. Steve Smith, the center. Raider to throw. Oh, he threw that one right into the ground. It was intended for Ethan Horton.
There's Cortez Kennedy right in his face, number 96 too. Cortez Kennedy is already a dominating defensive lineman in the league, but he has a chance to be in the next great defensive lineman. Number 96 in the middle of your screen. See how he just pushes Mosbar back, and then he gets to Schrader, and then runs through a back. This is a guy who has 5 sacks on the year. He's 300 pounds, 293 pounds, but he plays with great leverage. He gets his arms underneath the guy and uses his legs and throws people away.
2nd and 20 from the 14, a minute 56 till halftime. Smith gets the ball and pops out of it. Loose football. Big scramble. Looks like the Seahawks have it again.
5 turnovers for the Raiders.
Eugene Robinson knocked it loose from Steve Smith.
Yeah, these turnovers are no accident, because I think Seattle is creating them with hard-hitting hustle and just an attitude about creating turnovers. Now that one actually Steve Smith just lost. The early ones they stripped him, but that one he just dropped. Absolutely dropped, because there was a huge hole here. It looked like maybe he was trying to change the ball. Just came right out of his right arm.
That's amazing.
He was thinking about changing arms. I don't think Glasgow number 22 got a hand on it, but that's 5 turnovers on the night.
Let's see if the Seahawks can cash in big here. Straight ahead, John L. Williams.
And knowing Chuck Knox and knowing that he's got a 17-0 lead, he's got a pretty good defense, he's going to play this very conservatively. And he's going to tell Jeff Kemp at halftime, don't you dare throw an interception, because the only way we lose this game is if you turn the ball over. Now, Chuck will always give you that look like he's already been waited on. He always gives you that expression, it's like in a restaurant, I've always been waited on, but
he's a good guy.
Yeah.
Second down, 7 yards to go at the 22. Both teams have all their timeouts left. Tommy Kane in motion. Kemp to throw. Pressure throw. And that's intercepted. A terrible throw. It was intended for Blades. Running with the football is Lionel Washington. And he will go down at the 20-yard line. And just what you talked about, Chuck Knox. And he got just what he didn't want.
Well, 2 more interceptions by Jeff Kemp, and I promise you, if they had anywhere to go, if they had any veteran to put in right now, knowing Chuck, they would. So 12 interceptions in his last 6 starts. It's not obviously from not trying hard, but that's just another poor decision and a poor throw. And John Becker, the offensive coordinator, will let him know at halftime. I'm just shocked, actually, to see him even put the ball in the air in that situation with a 17-0 lead.
Amazingly enough, Lionel Washington had fallen down on the play.
Yeah, that's how bad a throw.
Was all by himself.
That's how bad a throw it was. It was a pretty good catch. Pretty good catch. That's 2 of them by Washington.
So let's see what the Raiders do now with 53 seconds left. Undaunted, they go to the air. Screen pass, Bell with it, and the big guy rumbles out across the 35 to the 38-yard line, and a late flag, just what we needed, another flag in this game. 17-yard pickup.
Last 4 possessions for the Raiders, 1 fumble, or actually 2 fumbles, 2 interceptions. And again, as we said, they're just not a good enough offensive team to overcome that.
Face mask, number 25 on the defense.
Blackman called face masking, a 5-yard penalty.
I don't know. It looked, when I was watching this live, didn't see much happen here, but they called it on Blackman. Yeah. Right there at the end. Right there at the end, he got the face mask.
44 seconds left in an interesting first half. Knocked away.
For Patrick Hunter again.
Willie Galt they better try somewhere else, because Hunter is doing a job.
Yeah, he is. And, and that's what you learn. You say, hey, Patrick Hunter has got my number tonight. Let's work on somebody else. Let's give old Dwayne Harper a chance. But again, it wasn't a sharp pattern by Galt, quite honestly. That was a poor out route.
And he dropped the ball before Hunter got there.
Yeah, when you run that out cut, you want that receiver working his way back. And Willie Galt didn't do it on that route.
Trips left for the Raiders here on 2nd and 10 from the 43. Incomplete, not near anybody. Tim Brown and James Jefferson got tangled up, but Schrader just threw the ball away. It's 3rd and 10 with 34 seconds left in the half.
This defense of the Seahawks is doing a terrific job. I have not seen too many wide receivers open. And that time, they're taking turns out there. We've seen Hunter, we've seen Harper. That time, James Jefferson, number 26, was all over Tim Brown without the interference. And that's the defensive coordinator for the Seahawks, Tom Catlin. Quiet, soft-spoken guy, but he's done a pretty good job with this defensive team.
Seahawks have allowed just 7 touchdowns in their 6 games, and none tonight. No points at all. Schrader has troubles. He throws incomplete.
Joe Nash almost picked that thing off. How about Joe Nash? We've seen him scrambling around, making plays downfield, taking on centers. And there, Joe Nash almost makes the interception, Skip.
And Jacob Green applied the pressure.
Yeah. It's almost a one-handed stab by the nose tackle.
Boy, that would have been something if he'd have made that play.
It probably would have been the first interception of his career.
Jeff Gossett will kick it away, or at least every indication points to that.
You know, if you win a game like that tomorrow in the films, the guys give you all kinds of trouble about not making the play, not making the interception.
Chris Warren will try to return it. He stands at the 15 and reaches the 5 and another flag. 42-yard punt, 9-yard return, a flag with 19 seconds left. Jerry Robinson made the stop, but let's see what this is all about. They've played drop the handkerchief a lot tonight.
It's like a preseason game. Blocking below the waist, I guess, by the Seahawks. I think they called Lewis Clark.
That's not Lewis and Clark.
No,
that's Lewis Clark.
That's his brother. They're not going to let Kemp throw the ball here. I promise you, Skip.
Great. That's why he's the analyst, folks. Kemp goes down, and if God is good, that'll end the half.
Should have been more, though. Should have had 17, maybe 24.
And the half is not over.
Why not?
Because
Raiders
the
called
officials
timeout.
blew the whistle.
Raider called timeout.
With 13 seconds left in the half. The Raiders, several of their players are already in the locker room and are now being called back. What is going on here?
There he comes.
They have 2 timeouts remaining, 13 seconds remaining in the half. They'd like to use all 3 of their timeouts and then try to block a punt.
Well, I think Seattle will find a way, even if Kemp has to scramble around back there without going in the end zone, to use up the 13 seconds. Or call a running play. Give the ball to his back. You can use up 13 seconds.
What if
2 downs.
Wouldn't it be something if they popped one here?
Hey, Ricky Irvins did it today for the Washington Redskins late in the ball game.
And that's exactly what they do. John L. Williams pulls his way forward. And now play is halted with 7 seconds left, and that's the second timeout called.
But now,
Ricky Ellison on the stop.
Yeah, if you want to use the 7 seconds, you run a sweep. You give the ball the back the ball, let him run around the end, staying inbounds and using the entire 7 seconds. So I think what has to happen in the first half, somebody has to say, I'm willing to make a play. And that's doing the extraordinary, making that catch in a crowd, coming up with a big block when it's not expected, stopping them on 4th and 1, forcing a punt, blocking a punt. That's what's going to have. They have not had that all year. That's what you mean by making a play.
Third down, 8 yards to go, 7 seconds left, 1 timeout remaining for the Los Angeles Raiders. John L. Williams pulls his way to the 16, timeout with 3 seconds left. So the Raiders got their wish, and they'll have a chance to try to block a punt. They have used their final timeout.
Now, you know, this is interesting, too, because the Seahawks do have this new punter, as you mentioned earlier, Rick Tootin. But they do have a very good long snapper in Troy Junkin. Yeah, running a lot. I think maybe he got poked in the eye. But there's Junkin, number 83. He is, they're just going to run it out now. They're just going to run the clock out on 4th down. Even if Kemp has to scramble around back there for 3 seconds.
Well, he better make sure he takes the 3 seconds, or the clock will stop on the change of possession.
Should be very easy to do. He's got plenty of field to work with.
So it's 4th down and 4 from the 17. Another odd occurrence in this game. John L. Williams on a sweep, gets outside, gets some yardage, and the half comes to a close as he's brought down at the 30-yard line by Eddie Anderson. The half is finally history. It's 17-0 Seahawks as we go to the break. The Fruit of the Loom halftime report with Fred Hickman, Ernie Johnson, the Snake, Kevin Kiley coming up next. Back at the Kingdom, it's 17-0 Seattle, and Pat Hayden, by rights, it really could have been worse.
Yeah, it really should have been worse, quite honestly. The Raiders turned the ball over 5 times, and they've been struggling all year offensively, and you would think, with all the time they've had in training camp and the 6 games, they get it ironed out, but again, they come in the 7th game of the season, turn the ball over 5 times. They're lucky only to be down by 17 points. That's because Jeff Kemp gave a couple back. A couple of interceptions.
It's been a bizarre game, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has. But, you know, in the sequence of interceptions there, I thought, which was kind of interesting, back-to-back interceptions. The first one, after wonderful coverage by Patrick Hunter, he tips the ball. Eugene Robinson, hustling over from the safety position, makes the play. But it was Hunter who really set it up. And then on the very next play, Jeff Kemp comes back and trying to get it all. And it's Lionel Washington, number 48 in white, who does just a spectacular job of adjusting to this pass. I mean, you want your wide receivers to make plays like this. He keeps both feet in, good catch. And then Steve Smith, his second fumble of the night. Now, this wasn't a matter of a hit like his earlier fumble was. This was a matter of it just came right out. And this led to Jeff Kemp's, I think, the most critical turnover was the interception that Kemp threw.
And the third quarter is underway. Chris Warren will run the kickback, but not very far. He is down at the 12-yard line. Good special teams work by the Raiders to get the third quarter started.
Now, field position had an awful lot to do with it. Well, you see what happened to the Raiders. 5 turnovers, average field position, 16-yard line. Didn't score anything off the turnovers. The Seahawks, on the contrary, have been opportunistic. They scored 14 in the turnovers. And look at it, starting on their own 46. You're playing with a half a field.
So here we go from the 12-yard line. Kemp has to shake off the 2 interceptions. His team has a 17-point lead. And he's going to put it up again. And no, he's not. And there's a loose football, and that's just what the Raiders needed. They have it at the 4-yard line. Scott Davis.
I think Howie Long caused it, and I think Scott Davis makes the play.
It was Long along with Golick who forced the play. Now let's see if that stands.
Okay, we get, boy, what a game.
It hasn't been pretty, but it has been interesting.
They're going to give the ball back to Seattle. I'm not sure what the situation is there, but Howie Long did a great job of disrupting that play, and that's exactly what Howie Long is. He is a disruptor. And they're going to... I haven't heard anything from the official, but that sure looked like a fumble to me.
The ruling on the field is incomplete pass. The play is under review.
Let's look again.
Incomplete pass.
Was his arm coming forward? Let's see.
You see Long, you see the way he disrupts things? That's not that. No,
that doesn't.
I don't see that as a pass.
Let's look at it here.
He's scrambling. He's trying to get out of the pocket.
No.
That's not a pass. That's a fumble. But Howie Long, as he has done his entire 11 career years, is just disrupting things, taking 2 guys back in, taking blockers, lead blockers, getting to the quarterback. No, he got his hand sandwiched between his own offensive tackle, Bill Hitchcock, and then Long caused a fumble. That should be a fumble. They had 3 turnovers, 2 interceptions by Kemp.
After further review, the play stands as called.
Oh, boy.
Second down.
What a tremendous break for Seattle. So it's 2nd and 10, and Kemp.
Well, you know, I thought the evidence was there to call that a fumble.
So did I. John L. Williams breaks the tackle, and great individual effort to get a yard or 2 out of that because there was absolutely nothing there.
Well, the Seahawks have dodged another bullet. I mean, really, by all rights, it should be 17 or 24 to nothing. And as we've talked, the Raiders are not a come-from-behind team. They haven't been this year. They haven't been the big play team they have been in years past. So if the Raiders can just, I mean, if the Seahawks can just avoid any turnover, they should win this game as well as their defense is playing.
Trips left now for the Seahawks. It's 3rd and 8 from the 14. Out of the shotgun. It's Kemp. He feels pressure, and now he's going to run, and he breaks the tackle and gets the first down, I believe. Yes.
That's a nice little scramble by Jeff Kemp.
9 yards.
You know, I asked Chuck Knox yesterday, hey, what does Jeff Kemp provide you? He says, hey, this guy can really run. He can scramble. And it's plays like this because the pocket breaks down. Howie Long again from the outside. Townsend had crushed the middle of the pocket. And he just scampers around. Pretty good speed because Aaron Wallace, the linebacker, chasing him. It's good pass. But watch Howie Long, number 75. It's a little stunt. Townsend takes 2 guys. He comes around the outside. And Long was saying yesterday, hey, I don't care how many sacks I get. I judge my performance and how much I disrupt things.
The give is to the running back Fenner, and he got blasted as he crossed the 25-yard line. Reached the 27. Bob Golick among those on the stop, and Fenner takes a little time getting up.
Fenner is another one of those big backs that you find in the AFC West, and there are a lot of them. Believe me, you think about what the Raiders have. Nick Bell, 250 pounds. Smith, 240. Koye, 260 for the Chiefs. Word, see how big he is? And if you're and the Chargers have Butts and Bernstein. If you're a defensive lineman like Howie Long or Greg Townsend, yeah, you have to get rid of some big bodies, and then you have a 260-pound back going full speed hitting you. I mean, that'll cause you a little consternation.
2nd and 6 at the 27-yard line. The give again is to Fenner. Again, the flags fly as he gets very little. Golick involved in the stop along with Benson. I wanted to ask you a question about that same. I was just thinking, looking at the stats on this kid, Dan McGuire, who's 6'7", with all the passes you see batted. You think that's the wave of the future? It's illegal procedure against Seattle. That quarterback, and I'm not getting on you because you're short of stature, although I normally do that. But do you think more quarterbacks will be 6'5" and above just to prevent that?
No, I mean, I think you always want. There's Dan McGuire's been inactive tonight, or inactive list. I think what you want is a guy who could just play the game and has a feel. I mean, there are some prerequisites. You'd like to have a guy 6'2", 6'3" minimum who has a feel for the game and is real competitive.
Illegal motion, number 32 on the offense. The penalty is declined. 3rd down.
And whether I don't think it makes a difference once you get to be 6'3" and 6'7". I mean, you could argue that what you want is a guy who can move around in the pocket a little bit and maybe give you a scramble every now and then. Boomer Esiason, who's 6'5", still moves around pretty good.
3rd and 5 from the 28. 17-0 Seattle. Pat Hayden, Skip Carey with you from the Kingdom. Kemp hangs it up there and overthrows
another flag.
Another flag, and this game is a travesty.
But you know why? The holding is because Howie Long and Craig Townsend are coming off the line of scrimmage so fast, you don't have a chance. I mean, if you don't hold them, they're going to kill your quarterback.
This referee, Stan Kemp, is getting more airtime than Johnny
Number
Carson.
74, offense. The penalty is declined. 4th down.
And these guys are coming off the line of scrimmage. Townsend, Long, Davis. Man.
Rick Tootin will try to kick it away to Tim Brown here. A few minutes ago when that happened, we had an interesting play that we'll talk about when we have some time, because Pat has gotten to the bottom of the riddle. Tootin has time, and he really bangs it. Back to the 13-yard line. Flag fly. Good return. Tim Brown is out across the 35, but once again a penalty flag is involved. 59-yard punt, 22-yard return it'll be. I'm sure against the Raiders, but let's see.
They got away with one. The Seahawks did too, because Elvis Patterson, who was rushing the punter, was held. You can't believe how badly he was held.
Okay, Stan, lay it on us, buddy.
You and he are becoming quite the friends.
Well, he keeps talking. And you can hear from the Raider bench, they're not too thrilled with the proceedings to this point.
It should be offsetting, because you can't believe how badly Elvis Patterson was held.
Holding, number 25 on the return team. Post-possession foul. 1st down.
Elvis Patterson is number 43. He'll be on the far side of the screen. He's going to be held by 42, Chris Warren. Now keep watching. Yeah, that's a hold.
I would say that it is. The Raiders will set up shop, and they need to get some points on the board. First and 10 at the 24. This matches the best field position of the night to start a drive for the Raiders. Fernandez in motion. Nick Bell in that backfield, and he gets the football. And he drives forward close to the 30-yard line before Tony Woods, who's had a very active night, makes the stop for Seattle.
to score and get back in this game, the Raiders need to find some set of rhythm. Find some play or a player that they can hang their hat on. Some guy who's going to, carry 3 or 4 guys on his back for a first down like Nick Bell did there. Maybe jump up in a crowd, but they haven't had that go-to guy, the guy that's been able to get them over the hump to make those plays that they need right now.
2nd and 3. The pitch back is to Bell again, and the big guy is hit but keeps grinding and gets close to a first down. Darren Como, the middle linebacker out of Arizona State, in his 11th year, made the stop.
For years, Marcus Allen was the guy who made the plays, whether it was throwing a block or turning a 3-yard catch into 15 yards or throwing a halfback pass, helping with audibles, just doing those kind of things. You could count on him for making those kind of plays, and that's what made him an extraordinary runner. Right now, the Raiders don't have anybody to go to make those kind of plays.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line as Bell just did get the first down. Schrader to throw. Pressure from behind. Complete to Horton, the tight end. And he has a first down as he crosses the 45. Gets to the 46. Como in on the stop along with Robert Blackman.
The other thing that the Raiders and Jay Schrader have to think about here is not the 17-point deficit. Just think about the next first down. Still 10 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. They're beginning to they're moving the chains here with a nice pass to the tight end. You don't necessarily have to get it all at once. Just keep it moving. Give Schrader some protection if you're an offensive lineman. If you're a receiver, find a way to beat those defensive backs and catch the ball when it comes your way.
Ethan Horton now 4 catches, 37 yards. First down for the Raiders. Fernandez in motion. Schrader to throw. Down the middle for Fernandez. He overthrew him. Fernandez had a step on Como, but the pass was incomplete.
This Raiders season has been a series of near misses. Schrader had Fernandez there in a crossing route, which is what you kind of want with a guy like Fernandez because he can catch it and do something with it afterwards. Had him open and he catches that. He's running away from defenders. He turns down the sideline for 30 or 40 yards. But the near misses have really been the story of Art Shell's team this season.
2nd and 10 from the 46-yard line. Steve Smith goes wide to the left. He's normally a running back. Nick Bell stays in to block. Now handles a pass. The loose football recovered
on Mosbar.
By Mosbar. Como made the hit that knocked the ball loose from Bell, and let's see what they call all of that.
Yeah, these Seahawk defenders do jar the ball loose from you, don't they? You can see why they have caused so many turnovers. I think 17 coming to the game, so 22 on the year. And that time it's Como. Again, not only do they get close, then they have the presence to kind of strip the ball. They give you a big hit, then they get their hands in there to knock it away.
That was a fumble, and Mosbar with the recovery. Tim Brown checks into the game. Possession play. Schrader has time. There's a man. It's complete to Fernandez. First down at the 38-yard line.
A nice throw by Jay Schrader and a good call because you had Mervin Fernandez against Brian Davis. Now, Brian Davis is a guy that is a nickelback, number 34 for the Seahawks. Now, he hasn't given them the kind of trouble that Hunter and Harper has. Big, soft cushion on Brian Davis. And you said, hey, we can't throw the ball very well against Hunter. We're not throwing the ball well against Harper. Let's pick on one of the nickelbacks. That time, they did on Brian Davis.
Fernandez wide to the right. First down again for Los Angeles. Bell breaks it down to the 26-yard line before he's knocked down by Eugene Robinson. 12-yard advance.
Big block by Ethan Horton, the tight end, number 88, right on Rufus Porter, number 97. He just gets his helmet right in his chest. He just kind of blots out the sun, turns him out, and that's why Nick Bell had that kind of run. But Ethan Horton has played pretty well for the Raiders tonight.
The Raiders with their most impressive, well, they had one other good drive early in the game that was short-circuited by a fumble. First down one more time from the 26. 8:15 left in the 3rd quarter. Bell rumbles forward inside the 25, down to about the 22-yard line.
And here's where this crowd noise in the Kingdome can really get dramatic. And again, what crowd noise does offensively, it prevents you from calling audibles. It prevents your offensive linemen from communicating. And in no position do you need more communication than in the offensive line in football. And so you'll see offensive linemen really looking in at the ball rather than listening for Schrader's snap count.
2nd and 6 from the 22. Willie Gault wide to the left, Fernandez to the right. Play action. Schrader to throw, has a man. Fernandez breaks the tackle, dives to the 11-yard line. Okay. Mervin Fernandez, a good receiver out of San Jose State, 11 yards, first down.
Yeah, he surely is. And we said at the beginning of the drive, he said, what do they need to do? They need to find somebody they can hang their hat on. This drive, it's been Mervin Fernandez. He beat a nickelback Brian Davis earlier. This time he beats the regular corner Harper and picks up another first down. But you need a guy like Mervin Fernandez or somebody like that to step up during a drive to get something going, and he has done it this drive for the Raiders.
He has 5 catches tonight for 54 yards. Tim Brown into the game. Goes wide to the left. First down from the 11. Bell in motion. Schrader to throw. He eludes one man. He throws it away high and far into the crowd here in the Kingdome.
Nice catch up there by a fan up there in row 3.
But that doesn't count.
You look at that. He didn't want to give it back. That was a wonderful catch. Now, Ethan Horton, number 88, the tight end, appeared to be open on that play. A lot of times, tight ends down the middle against a linebacker, at that time it was going against Porter, was open when he came back. But that time, actually, Schrader had already made the decision, I'm not going to take a sack, I'm getting rid of it, which was the right call, right play.
2nd and 10 from the 11-yard line. 11th play of the drive. They started at their own 24. Tim Brown wide left, Fernandez right. Bell stacked up at the 9, fights forward to the 8. Joe Nash among those on the stop. So a 3rd down confronts the Raiders.
Well, remember, they can get a first down without scoring, too.
But they've got a ways to go here. 6:15 remaining in the 3rd quarter. The Seahawks lead 17-0.
Now, again, a perfect situation here, if you had a Marcus Allen, would be to use him on an isolation against a back and give him an option route. That's not there, so what do? You have Mervin Fernandez, who's been hot on this particular drive. Maybe you give Fernandez a chance to make a play here. And Tim Brown has always been their 3rd down guy.
3rd down play, flags fly. Schrader fires into the end zone. Another flag. The pass was caught in the end zone, but let's wait a minute.
Well, Horton catches in the end zone.
There are flags all over the place again.
Like one of the Seattle defenders on the line of scrimmage jumped off sides.
And you see Schrader indicating touchdown, but let's wait a minute because confusion has reigned supreme all night long here.
That is an understatement.
Nobody signaled touchdown, though the ball was clearly caught in the end zone.
Offside, number 97 on the defense. Holding, number 26 on the defense. The penalties are refused. It's a touchdown.
We finally get the word that a touchdown has been scored.
Rufus Porter, number 97. He's the guy that jumps off sides, trying to get the quick start to get a line on the quarterback. And there's the hold on Horton. Yeah, there's not much question about that. I think he actually got caught on Horton.
And then Horton catches the touchdown pass, and the Raiders get back into the game as Jeff Gossett will hold and Jeff Jager will kick. That's good, and it's a 10-point game with an eternity remaining. 5:45 left in the 3rd quarter. 76 yards in 12 plays. It took 6:16, and the Raiders are on the board. This still very much a football game. The Seahawks now lead 17-7 with 5:45 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Chris Warren, Derek LaBelle, the deep men. Jeff Jager will kick it away to them. The Raiders had a fumble on that drive, but recovered it themselves, and that might turn their luck around. Warren fields the ball in his end zone and brings it out. And and got to the 19-yard line.
I'm going to skip. Every drive has at least one big play, one critical play in it. And this was the one. It was a 3rd and long, and Schrader found Fernandez on the sideline. There's a little tap dance. He had driven Brian Davis, the nickel, back off, and that led to the touchdown to Ethan Horton. And here was a play. But it was a very patient, methodical series there by Jay Schrader, down by 17 points, and now they are indeed right back in the ball game, which absolutely amazes me, considering they had the 5 turnovers.
It's like men left on base in baseball. The Seahawks have had chance after chance to bury him, didn't get it done. Kane in motion, Kemp to throw. Kemp has time. He runs out of time, and he's thrown for a 2-yard loss. And that's a sack. And in on the play, Greg Townsend out of TCU. He's a good one. And he makes the play, and it's the first sack of the game.
Yeah, 6th sack on the year for Greg Townsend. But usually when he's sacking, it's Howie Long setting him up. Number 75, you see how he kind of forces Kemp into Greg Townsend. Now, you'll pick up the paper in the morning, and you'll say, hey, Howie Long didn't get any sacks. But this one really belongs just as much to Howie Long as it does to Greg Townsend.
Brian Blades wide to the left here. 2nd and 12 for the Seahawks. Kemp on a little pitch play. John Williams, and he loses further yardage. Lionel Washington was up very quickly. Scott Davis was there as well to force the play. And suddenly the Seahawks are headed in the wrong direction.
Yeah, you can sense a change of momentum here. Here's a guy that's a momentum changer. Lionel Washington can intercept. Remember the adjustment he did on the interception? Well, he can be a physical player, too, and come up and take on some bodies and make tackles on big backs like he did there on John L. Williams. Lionel Washington has had a wonderful game.
3rd down, 15 yards to go. Kane is wide to the left.
This is a very big down for this Raider defense. Force the punt, get good field position.
Kemp from the shotgun. Has to unload, incomplete. Flags fly one more time.
Got to be holding.
Which will doubtless be declined. And as Pat said, the Raiders figure to get the ball in good field position as Tim Brown gets ready to return the punt.
The reason all the holes is just a ferocious rush by Townsend and Long. Just a ferocious rush.
Funny how the emotion and the momentum in a sports event will ebb and flow as it does.
Clipping, number 76, offense. The penalty is declined. It's 4th down.
Okay, it's number 76 at the top of the screen there. Tries to get his hands on Townsend, but does a nice swim move. Got his hand over the helmet of Hitchcock, number 73. Then Hitchcock really, they call it a clip, was kind of a tackle. But nonetheless, the Seahawks will punt.
And Rick Tootin will do that. He stands on his goal line, standing at his own 45. Is Tim Brown. Plenty of time, and boy, he's kicked beautifully tonight. He drives Brown all the way back to the 27-yard line. But he's got a little bit of room. And he's out of bounds at the 44, and that's where the Raiders will set up
another penalty.
Yet another penalty, 60-yard punt, 18-yard return, and the flag came in there late. Let's see what that's all about.
Brown was upset that he thought he got hit out of bounds, and he threw the ball at one of the Seahawks, and then a bunch of guys started pushing one another around.
And what we have here,
sportsmanlike penalty against
the Raiders again.
Brown's going to run out of bounds here.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, taunting, number 81 on the receiving team, 1st down.
He throws the ball at Warren. Wasn't much of a taunt, but nonetheless, it's the penalty.
We have had a plethora of penalties.
I like
tonight.
that. I like that.
I knew you would. We'll be
done.
back.
Well, though you look at the story of this game thus far, the turnovers, the Raiders have 5, but the surprising thing, quite honestly to me, Skip, is they're right back into this thing, trailing 17-7, and have a chance here. They got some momentum going back on their last drive. They worked Mervin Fernandez for a couple of big plays.
They start at their 29, and that's their best field position of the night to start a drive. Fernandez, speaking of him, is wide to the right. Roger Craig has not played in the second half. He may be dinged up here. Schrader throws, almost intercepted. The pass was intended for Fernandez. Dwayne Harper had a hand on it, but couldn't haul it in for the Seahawks.
Yeah, Dwayne Harper, number 29, who's played well. Nice look. He's got everything in front of him. He's got the quarterback's arm motion, the quarterback in front of him. He's got the receiver in front of him. It allows him to drive on the ball. The ball badly thrown otherwise. Maybe Fernandez catches that and has a chance at a very big play.
2nd and 10 from the 29. Bell and Smith will set that. Later, looks like he's calling an audible here.
And he's using hand signals again because of the crowd noise.
That's complete to Ethan Horton again, and he's covered immediately by the strong safety Robert Blackman.
Yeah, that's a good audible there by Jay Schrader. He had something called to his wide receiver, saw the press coverage, the bump and run by the outside corners, leaves his tight end with a linebacker and calls a little audible to Ethan Horton, and that's pretty easy. That's a heads-up play.
Time is called here. They apparently are going to measure in this situation, and as they do that, what a perfect time to take a look at tonight's Coors Light scoreboard. The Chiefs had a 99-yard fumble return in that game. That was a good ball game. We saw parts of that. The Chargers are close every week, but have only gotten it done once. They changed that to a 100-yard fumble return by Kansas City, I am told. Another long day for the Colts. Browns made that a game into the third
they did for
quarter.
a while. Ricky Irvins had a big day for the Redskins. Found a third back, did the Redskins. Well, Troy Aikman's having a heck of a year for the Cowboys, isn't he?
My Falcons did good.
49ers 2-4. Tim McGuire 2 interceptions. He and Jerry Rice were talking, yapping at one another all week about who was going to shut whom out.
And nobody did.
So they did a lot of talking.
3rd and inches. Bell dives to the 40 for the first down. So the Raiders move the chains again.
Again, just very methodical drive. The last 2 of them have been for the Raiders. And you have a 255-pound guy who can run through you, and sometimes he can jump over you for first downs. I mean, this is a pretty agile guy, Nick Bell, at 6'2", 255 pounds.
He's out of Iowa from the 40-yard line. First down. Ready to throw. He has good protection. His off-balance toss is complete, and Horton again dives forward, close to midfield and short of the first down, and he's been a very busy man tonight.
So I tell you, Ethan Horton did a good job of adjusting there. He was covered, but again, he can't stay covered, and that's what Ethan Horton hasn't done tonight. He's fought through guys holding him and grabbing him, trying to keep him at the line of scrimmage. But even on that play, when he was covered early in the route, he managed to move around and find that open spot in the defense for the reception.
2nd and a yard. Willie Gault wide right. Bell bangs forward. First down. Look at him move that pile down inside the 45-yard line.
You know, in the second year, you're really getting all those kind of moving the pile.
Yeah.
You're getting them all down this year.
It's watching all those tapes. You get all those words. 61,974.
Well, it's easier to move that pile, as you said, Skip, when you're that kind of back. You give him a little head start. Nick Bell, all 255 pounds, and he's going to move some people because he's moving his legs pretty hard.
Bell goes wide to the left. Willie Gault in the slot to that side. Fernandez to the right. Schrader has an eternity. Throws high, intended for Gault, but he overthrew him. Eugene Robinson on the coverage, along with Patrick Hunter.
His big old Jacob Green, number 79 for the Seahawks, that forced Jay Schrader to kind of move around in the pocket there a little bit. Jacob Green in his 12th year now, and that's a long time when you're playing defensive end in the NFL. And yet he's played it. I mean, as much as it is a physical battle, I think just kind of the emotional drain and feeling that you could take on those big offensive guards and tackles every week, but be able to do that for 12 years, that's rather remarkable.
2nd and 10 from the 43. Fernandez comes in motion. Flags fly again. Pass is complete to Fernandez, and he is upended at the 40-yard line, a minimal gain. It would be 3rd and 6, but let's check yet another penalty flag.
Against the Seahawks. I think it was Jacob Green jumped early.
So Schrader and the Raiders will doubtless take that penalty. You're so smart.
Jacob Green, the nearest guy on the line of scrimmage there. He's always been known as a pass rusher, and good pass rushers always get off the ball very quickly, but you're going to suffer that some. If you're a great pass rusher, a lot of them are offsides. You know, the Raiders did a very good job tonight on Rufus Porter because they were really concerned that Rufus Porter was going to drill their quarterback in the back 4 or 5 times.
Offside, number 79 on the defense. Repeat, 2nd down.
In this quarter, the Raiders' total offense 104 yards. The Seahawks 11.
Well, now's where the Seahawk defense has to come up with another one of those plays. We talked about making the play. What that means right now, it means causing a fumble, picking off a ball for an interception.
2nd and 5. Schrader to throw. Dumps it off down the middle. Fernandez open again. He's close to a 1st down as he skids down at the 33-yard line. Porter and Terry Wooden on the stop, and Schrader comes up a little gimpy after that play.
Yeah, he took a big shot. I think it was by Cortez Kennedy, who gets in a little stunt in the middle of your screen, number 96. Cortez Kennedy is blocked, but just keeps on fighting, keeps on scratching, and gets right into the knee of Jay Schrader. Oh, man, when you're planted and on AstroTurf, that's how you blow out an ankle or a knee.
He's lucky he was able to get up and try to walk it off. They'll measure for the 1st down. And it is short.
Speaking of AstroTurf and domes, what a wonderful day this would have been to play this one outside.
Oh, man,
beautiful day here in Seattle. And then they come in and they play it on this plastic grass. It's terrible. I was talking to Marcus Allen again before the game. He says, I hate this stuff. I mean, he was injured in week 1 on AstroTurf down in the Astrodome in Houston. Expected back next week, but this stuff, nobody should have to play on.
I couldn't agree with you more. But it's obvious nobody's going to do anything about it.
Certainly not tonight on this field. Good little drive going here. The last couple of times in short yardage, they've given the ball to Nick Bell, and he has responded over the top.
3rd and 1 from the 34. And there's Bell, and he pops inside the 30 for another 1st down.
That's good line blocking, Skip, because the inside linebackers for Seattle knew that Nick Bell was going to get the ball. And what they're going to try to do is drive and dive over the top and stop him. But the offensive guards, the center, they come off the ball so well. Mosbar, the right guard, McElroy. See, they keep the linebackers from being able to get any momentum and diving into Nick Bell, and that's why they got the 1st down.
Bell has been a big part of the proceedings here as the 3rd quarter comes to a close. The Raiders trail by 10, but they're driving toward the Seahawk goal line. We'll be back right after this.
Got a nice drive here by the Raiders.
Just following my orders. 1st and 10 from the 29. Schrader throws behind Steve Smith. It's incomplete. So it'll be 2nd and 10.
Again, several times tonight, Jay Schrader has thrown the ball well. Then others, he's just off. Again, we talk about the just miss. That time, Steve Smith running that little circle route out of the backfield. Now, if he can get the ball to the receiver out in front of him so he doesn't have to stop or turn or adjust and slow down, then you catch that ball and you split the defense. We saw it happen. Barry Foster, the Steelers, did it last week. Remember, he caught the ball on the move. That's what you need to do. Get it out in front so they don't have to adjust.
Willie Gault wide to the left. 2nd and 10 from the 29. Bell flags again. Bell to the 25-yard line. No more than that. Boy, the penalty flags in this game, incredible.
Yeah, I knew somebody was going to crawl out there. He was screaming and writhing in pain. Was Steve right at the bottom of that pile?
Looks like he's okay. They can walk off, whatever the problem was.
You know, it's amazing guys that big can be that flexible because he was twisted in there.
Stan Kemp will speak to us soon. Stan doesn't know what number yet, but he just found out.
Offside, number 29 on the defense, lining up in the neutral zone. Repeat, 2nd down.
The cornerback, Dwayne Harper, lined up in the neutral zone.
Here's Steve Wright right over here. This is the guy. Watch what happens to him, but he really did get twisted at the bottom of that pile. It is a hole. This guy got his
right leg.
Man, he pulled both hamstrings that way.
Roger Craig back into the game. 2nd and 5, the situation.
And here's the audible with this crowd noise. Horton didn't hear it, the tight end. Yep.
Who jumped first? That will be the question. Illegal procedure against the Raiders directly because of that crowd noise.
And now you're really going to hear the crowd get into it. And you...
False start. Number 76 on the offense. Prior to the snap. Still 2nd down.
Ethan Horton, the tight end, could not hear the audible. He said, hey, what's going on? What's the call? That's where you need a hand signal, but you can't audible in that part of the field against the Seahawk crowd.
So it's 2nd and 10 at the 29, and the crowd a big part of the proceedings here. 14-15 left in regulation. Willie Gault in motion. For all of it, into the corner of the end zone. No. Intended for Fernandez. Harper on the coverage. Let's see if everybody's all right. Didn't miss by much.
That was a great throw and another tremendous play by Dwayne Harper. Because Harper, again, he waits, his hands goes up, and he strips it. I mean, that's a great throw by Jay Schrader. Maybe should have been caught by Fernandez, but Harper just does a fabulous job of just knocking that ball away from him at the last moment.
So now a huge play in this game, 3rd and 10. Yeah, that ball was catchable.
And it should have been 3rd and 5.
Fernandez wide right, Tim Brown in the slot to that side. Fernandez to the left. Same play. Oh, and Fernandez bobbled it but couldn't hang on, and Brian Davis on the coverage.
I love the play call, and then I love the coverage by Brian Davis. Rarely do you see teams throw go routes down when they get near the 30-yard line. Everything is a short route. The Raiders go up top. They picked on Brian Davis earlier, and they beat him. They come right back, but this time, Brian Davis responded.
Boy, Fernandez had a shot, but couldn't quite bring it in, thanks to the good coverage.
We have had a highlight film's worth of great defensive back play tonight.
Jeff Jager from 47 yards. It's up. It's good. So a touchdown separates the two teams. A 47-yard field goal makes it 17-10 with 13:48 left in regulation. Chris Warren and Derek LaVille, the deep men. Jeff Jager will kick it off here. It's a 7-point game now. Warren is number 42. LaVille, out of Oregon, wears number 20. 17-10 our score. That was a 42-yard drive, 12 plays. It took 5 minutes, 13 seconds off the clock. Here we go. High kick. Warren at the 8. And is buried at the 16-yard line.
You know, the thought process, Skip, for Jeff Kemp is a lot different now. You know, he hasn't been on the field much this second half, quite honestly, but he was up 17-0, and it's a completely different thing where you're trying to say, hey, I'm not going to lose the game. Now he's got to be a lot more aggressive with the ball. He's got to get the ball downfield, and when they were successful in the first half, they were successful throwing the ball on first down. We haven't seen that much of that in this second half.
We should give credit to Derek Crudup for that fine play on special teams there. The Seahawks need to get something going. Momentum is swung against them. Williams burrows his way out close to the 20-yard line. Don L. Williams.
They're well done. And the Raiders are a very difficult team to run against with any consistency. And that's the man, Dave Adolph, the defensive coordinator, really has done a terrific job because his offense has put his defense in some real binds this year. Defensively, they have played well enough to win 5 of their 6 games. Again, they played pretty well tonight. Again, his offense has turned the ball over 5 times. But for Seattle, Kemp has got to come back with some plays, primarily, I think, the passing on first down.
2nd and 7. The give is to Fenner. He breaks a tackle, kicks it outside. Reaches the 27-yard line, close to a first down. And, brother, he did that all by himself.
Yeah, that was either a terrific run or some very poor tackling, because it looks like they had Fenner for a loss, 2 or 3 yard loss. Fenner's a guy who had a big season a year ago, but the coaches have been somewhat disappointed. There was Townsend who had him around the hip, couldn't grab him. But he moved the chains there, and that is just what this offense needed at this point.
12:25 remaining. That's only the second first down of the half for the Seahawks. That's how dominant the Raiders have been, but they trailed to the Raiders 17-10. Kemp to throw on play action. He better hurry. He gets it away, incomplete.
Boy.
John L. Williams was out there in the flat.
Yeah, he wasn't too open because he had Winston Moss, number 99, tattooed all over him. Now, yeah, there's Winston Moss. This guy was a very valuable addition. Number 99 at the top of the right side of the screen. Just read the screen from the very get-go. Kemp had nowhere to go. And a dangerous throw. You don't do that. This is what has plagued Jeff Kemp this year. That kind of throw, when he should have just either take a sack or get rid of it. Throw it out of bounds. Anthony Smith provided the good pass coverage. 2nd and 10 from the 27. Williams stripped it down. He goes, and once again it was Anthony Smith who made the play. Rushed the passer a moment ago. Now makes the tackle. Well, Kemp's last 5 passes, Pat, 2 interceptions, 3 incompletions, so he has struggled. And that guy Anthony Smith that you were just talking about has a lot to do with it. He is going to develop into a starter. He is a role player now, and he was injured all last year, #1 draft pick out of Arizona. This guy has a real suddenness about him. He can bull rush you, run over you, and then he can chase you down from behind. 4 wideouts in the game on 3rd and 11 for Seattle. Kemp to throw. Better hurry. Gets it away. Diving try. Incomplete. John L. Williams was the intended receiver. Mike Jones, a rookie free agent out of Missouri, was on the pass coverage. The crowd boos. And once again, the Raiders are going to get the football with 11:21 left, and Tim Brown will try to return a Rick Tootin pump. And Tootin, boy, has kicked the daylights out of the ball here tonight. Yeah, that was one of the question marks they had. Rusty Tillman, the special teams coach, said, hey, I don't know what I have with Rick Tootin, and I am concerned. Well, he has found himself a very good punter tonight. Here's the kick by Tootin. Flags fly. Pretty good kick this time. Brown fair catches the ball at the 35, but we'll see what the penalty flag is all about. 39-yard punt, no return. And another flag. Oh, these officials must be getting arm weary. Yeah, it's against the Seahawks. Illegal procedure. Let's see what Art Shell and company elect to do here. The Raiders have pretty good field position now at 35, but I think they may take a punt it again.
Illegal formation. Not enough men on the line of scrimmage, and the kicking team 5 yards. Repeat 4th down.
They'll make him kick it again. Well, you need 7 men on the line of scrimmage. You see 3 or 4 right there in the front, and the 2 wings are 5 and 6, so you need the 7. So Brown moves forward to the 40-yard line, and Tootin will try to kick it again. Tootin's a pretty good find for the Seahawks. Here's a guy that punted for the Buffalo Bills last year in the Super Bowl. Got released, and now they have him. He's done well. He'll kick it from about his 10-yard line. A high, short kick. Catch at the 41, and yet another flag is thrown. And this one looks like it'll be against the Seahawks, or against the Raiders. Yeah, it looks like they made, it's on 21, Gary Lewis. 38-yard punt, no return. Let's see what happens next. 14 total penalties have been accepted in this game. Many more have been declined. It's been that kind of... 4 penalties and points. Nice. Exactly. And yet another meeting by the officials who, if they did not know one another well when this game started, are bosom buddies now. They have had more conferences than
the Senate Judiciary Committee.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is another story altogether.
Don't get into that one.
No.
Personal foul against the Raiders. Holding against the Raiders. All I saw was number 36, David Daniels of the Seahawks, come clapping around, clapping like there was a penalty against the Raiders.
And he was right.
And he was right next to Gary Lewis, number 21 for the Raiders.
Holding on the receiving team is declined. Unsportsmanlike conduct, unnecessary roughness on the receiving team. Hitting a player while he's out of bounds is accepted. 15-yard first down.
We don't know who it was. Well, we're going to take a break here, and then we'll figure out what's going on in the Kingdom. See you in a minute.
You don't want to get too far behind those Chiefs. You win, you're only one back.
First and 10 from the 27-yard line. The Raiders have dominated the second half of the game, but they trail by a touchdown. They ring up Bell, and he gets close to the 30-yard line. Cortez Kennedy in on the stop. In the penalty department, the Raiders have been penalized 9 times for 85 yards. The Seahawks 6 times for 43 yards.
Nick Bell is just a big guy that doesn't run like a big back. He's got some fluidness about him. He is smooth. And Steve Wisniewski, the left guard, was saying yesterday about Nick Bell. He said, it's great to block for him. He's a big guy with power who doesn't have a big ego.
Sam Grady checks into the game and goes wide right. Tim Brown is in the game and motion to the left. Schrader to throw, has all the time in the world, almost intercepted. Great effort.
What a play by Terry Wooden. Yeah. And how many times tonight have we seen defensive backs, and this time a linebacker, just get a perfect timed knock away from a receiver? I mean, we've seen it by a lot of defensive backs, that time with the outside linebacker, Terry Wooden. And this is a well-coached Seattle Seahawk team because they've got their face to the quarterback, and they're driving on the ball as soon as Schrader lets go of it.
3rd and 7, a big play here. Nick Bell leaves the lineup. Tim Brown in motion. Schrader to throw. Has a man, complete, first down, 41-yard line. Brian Davis ran out Mervin Fernandez, a pickup of 11 yards and a first down.
Well, Mervin Fernandez has been the guy in this second half. Remember on that touchdown drive that the Raiders had? He was the guy that came up with the 2 key third down receptions. Here the Raiders find themselves in another bind, and Schrader has the confidence to come right back to him because he knows he's getting open. He's beating his defender, and he can work a sideline like he did there. Runs a great sideline route.
He has 7 catches for 69 yards. Grady wide to the left. 4 of those catches in the second half. Bell back in the game. Bulls his way to the 44. A pickup of 3. Terry Wooden involved in the stop, and the clock continues to run. Less than 10 minutes remaining. Jeff Bryant was in there as well.
Well, you know, the Raiders have to be thinking with, as you said, the less than 10 minutes of winning this game in regulation. I mean, what you don't want to do is just be satisfied with the 7 points. Yes, be methodical, but what you really are thinking are 2 scores. You need a touchdown and a field goal to win the thing in regulation. And they're probably going to get maybe 1 or 2 more possessions after this one.
Sam Grady is wide to the left. Bell circles to the left, midfield, first down, 45-yard line. He is tough to handle, and he has made a big difference in this game as they've given the ball more and more to Nick Bell, who now has 12 carries for 69 yards.
Once Nick Bell gets his shoulders and hips toward the turn toward the line of scrimmage, look out. And we've seen him run inside, tackle to tackle, all line. Now he takes it outside. But see how he squares up into the hole? And he's just going to run through a lot of tacklers. And you watch him, you think, hey, if they had a healthy Bo Jackson and a Marcus Allen and a Nick Bell, I mean, that's a pretty good combo.
He has 11 carries for 62 yards in the second half. He takes a rest Roger Craig into the game. Schrader to throw. It is complete. Fernandez again. He is short of the first down, but he picked up 9.
I think that may have been Ethan
Horton.
Yeah.
Let's see. You're right. It is Ethan Horton, the tight end, who made the play, number 88.
Well, he has had a very nice night. I think it's maybe his 8th catch tonight for Horton. When you think of the great Raider teams, they've always had a tight end. You think of Dave Casper in particular. Great tight ends who've been able to take the pressure off their wide receivers. And Horton, with his 8th catch tonight, has done that.
Good for 72 yards. 2nd and 1 from the 36-yard line. Bell is back into the game. He's in the slot to the left side. Schrader on 2nd down will throw it out. Batted away. Almost intercepted by Dwayne Harper again. Boy, Pat, you're right. The corners in this game have come up with some super play.
You know, Dwayne Harper in his 4th year, I was talking to his coaches yesterday, and again, first of all, just watch the reaction. He just drives. Perfectly timed. Really probably should have picked this ball off. But now his coaches are saying he's playing with tremendous confidence, and that's what you need at a corner. It takes a couple of years to realize, hey, I can play in this league. I can cover the Tim Browns and the Willie Gaults, and he is doing that, and he is ready to take the next level of being a dominating defensive back in the NFL.
3rd down and a yard to go. They'll give it to Bell, as they always do, and not this time. Now a decision. It's 4th down and a long one. Cortez Kennedy submarined on the play, and now it's a 4th down situation. And what will the Raiders do? They'll go for it.
Cortez Kennedy did a great job of staying low and getting some leverage and making things happen. Watch how he just kind of knifes through here and disrupts the whole play. In short yardage, just can't. He's a big guy, 300 pounds. That's making something happen, fighting through some people, slows up the back to put the stop on him.
The Raiders 0 for 3 on 4th down this year. Here we go. 4th and 1. They'll throw for it. Complete Fernandez. And he is inside the 15 down near the 12-yard line. Nesby Glasgow in on the stop. But what a big play on 4th down, a 24-yard pickup.
Remember, Skip, we talked about, hey, making plays. What making plays is about? Well, making plays is doing something when the game is on the line. And Mervyn Fernandez on the outside receiver made the play there. Good coverage by Brian Davis. He makes a terrific adjustment and then gets down inside the 20-yard line. But that's what you call making a play, when something's at stake.
Brown is wide to the right. Sam Grady is wide to the left. The ball is on the 12. It's 1st down. Horton in motion. Into the end zone for Horton. Too long. 2nd and 10 from the 12. Eugene Robinson there on the coverage, but the pass was overthrown, perhaps because of the good coverage by Robinson.
Yeah, it's a smart play. You make sure it doesn't get picked off, and you give your receiver maybe a chance. Terry Robisky has made some wonderful adjustments this 2nd half. He's gotten all that he wanted. They've run the ball much better this 2nd half. They've come up with some big plays, particularly to Mervyn Fernandez, who's been kind of their go-to guy on 3rd downs this half.
2nd and 10 from the 12. 6:16 left in the game. Fernandez back in the game. And wide to the right. Tim Brown to the left. Schrader rolls. He throws. End zone. Touchdown. Brown. And the Raiders have come back to within a point, and they've got a chance to tie the game.
Now this is where I'd love to see the 2-point play in football. Again, this is, Jay Schrader has just thrown this ball beautifully on this drive, the last couple of drives. Starts with good protection, a tight spiral, drills it in between 2 defenders, and it's a happy Jay Schrader, and he should be. But I tell you, I would love to see the 2-point play in college, not in college football, it is in college football, in professional football.
Jeff Jager will try to tie the game with 6:10 remaining. And he does just that. And down 17, the Raiders have battled back to tie it. 11 plays, 73 yards. It took 4 minutes, 58 seconds. We got a ball game, and we'll be back. We got ourselves a ball game here. There's the score, 6:10 remaining. It was Seahawks 17-0 at halftime. But the Raiders, to their credit, have come battling back in this half. The Raiders 186 yards, the Seahawks just 20. And here's the kick, and it's very, very short. It will be fielded by Lavelle at the 14. And he pops out of there across the 30, and another flag flying. Boy, every second play, it seems, there's a penalty. So let's sort this one out.
Well, it's a blocking below the waist by the Seahawks, which you mostly see on those kickoff returns. And there's Elvis Patterson, perhaps the best special teams player in the National Football League right now.
Let's see what happened to him on our replay.
That illegal block below the waist on the return.
He got hit 2 or 3 different times.
Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Let's take a look at the touchdown play. It's one of the subtle things I think Tim Brown did here just by his release. Now, this looks like double coverage, but by Tim Brown coming outside, it created a little lane right here for him to catch the ball. See how he drifts to the outside there? Now the safety can't make a play. It's just one-on-one coverage instead of 2-on-1, and then Brown makes the touchdown catch.
Well, here we go. Bad field position from the 14-yard line for Kemp and company. And he's going to put it up. He's chased out of the pocket. Now he's going to run. And he's run out of bounds at the line of scrimmage, the 14-yard line. Ronnie Lott ran him out of there.
Well, first half field position. You see what's happened. The Seahawks, who had all the field position advantage in the first half, now in their 16. And we said the key to their first half was Jeff Kemp's beautiful throwing on first down. He has not, and completions on first down, not been able to do that in the second half. Conversely, the Raider offense has been just incredibly methodical and then been able to get 17 points on the board.
2nd and 10. Travis McNeil in motion left. Kemp to throw, runs out of time, gets it away, short and incomplete for John L. Williams. And right now, the Raiders have everything going their way. 3rd and 10. And the natives are very restless here in the Kingdome at the moment. They can feel this one slipping away.
Well, Chuck Knox is going to have Dave Craig back next week. Dave Craig injured his thumb, broke his thumb in their opening season loss. That's Craig in the red shirt there. Broke his thumb in the opening season loss to New Orleans. He is one of the, I think, one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the National Football League. This guy can play and has made a lot of big plays in his career against these Raiders.
Number 11 there was Kelly Stoffer, a young quarterback who you wonder about his history here. 3rd and 10, possession play. Kemp rolls, Kemp throws long. He's got a man all alone. It's Blades, and he's got it.
Now that ball was in the air.
50-yard completion.
That ball should have had some stewardesses on it. That thing was in the air a long time. Brian Blades on this route is on the far outside right here, and he's just going to run a go route. But he's been setting this up all night. He's been running crossing routes, hooks, outs, this time with a good protection. You see a little stutter step there by Blades on the outside, and a wonderful throw there by Kemp. He has man beaten by 10 yards, but
that man is Ronnie Lott. Whew. First down inside the 35 for the Seahawks. Kemp asked for quiet from the crowd. The give is to John L. Williams. Nothing there, perhaps a yard. Lott was involved in that one, so was Bob Golick.
You know, Skip, we really haven't been too lucky in the games that we have seen this year, the broadcasts of the ebb and flow of watching teams coming back and forth, but we have had that tonight. And that's what you expect when you're playing a divisional game. The Raiders and the Seahawks.
Speaking of divisional games, we got another one coming up Thursday night. The Pack home to the Bears.
Lambeau Field. And there's a guy who's been a disruptor all evening long, Howie Long.
2nd down, 8 yards to go from the 32. The give is to Fenner. He's hit behind the line. Greg Townsend was there. Townsend made the stop, and it's 3rd and long.
Townsend is a real productive type of defensive end. He can rush the passer, which he's primarily noted for, but he's pretty good at the point of attack as well. He can run through you, he can chase you down from behind, and when he is on the same side as Howie Long, he can run a lot of games, a lot of stunts with Howie Long, and be very, very successful.
4 wideouts in the game. It's 3rd and 9. 3 minutes, 10 seconds left in regulation. We've got a tie game. Blades in motion. Kemp to throw, has a lot of time. Now he's out of time. He has to run. He's at the 30 and he dives forward, but he's short of a first down. Winston Moss involved in the tackle.
It's a heads-up play by Jeff Kemp because his receivers are well covered. Didn't force that ball like he did earlier in the game. Now watch the coverage here. Short coverage underneath, man for man, and the 2 deep guys back prevent the big play, prevent the long pass.
So the rookie John Casey is the man who's in the spotlight here.
Remember in opening week against the New Orleans Saints, I think there was 30 seconds remaining in the game. John Casey had a chance to tie the game at 27, send the game into overtime against the Saints, and he missed.
Funny thing, you wonder what would have happened to the Saints season had that kick been good. Who knows if they'd be undefeated at this point in time, or even a factor. But they've had a great year. Whistles. And Seattle calls a timeout here to think about things. It's 4th and 3 from the 27 with 2:09 remaining in regulation time.
That is Rusty Tillman, the well-noted special teams coach, talking to John Casey. And I have never kicked, clearly, and certainly not in situations like this, but I think this is the most difficult thing to do in football. Game hanging in the balance.
Casey's longest field goal this year is 45 yards.
Yeah, I always love to see the counterpoint of the special teams coaches, too. That's Steve Ortmeyer, the special teams coach for the Raiders, who's done a marvelous job with this Raider team. And again, what they're going to try to do clearly is get the biggest bodies they can inside, the tallest guys. You know, Howie Long, who's 6'5", Scott Davis, who's 6'7". Try to get a little bit of a crease, a little bit of a push, and maybe get those big hands up. You're 6'7", you're 6'5", you have a chance. I'm going to tell you, the scramble by Jeff Kemp, though, when he was under pressure there, really was a big play.
So time about back in here. 2:09 remaining.
Rusty Tillman, former great special team player himself for the Washington Redskins, was a captain for the Washington Redskin team. "45-yard try here. Let's all watch it together." Yes. 2:04 remaining. Seattle reclaims the lead, but the Raiders will have the ball when we come back. The crowd loves it here. Look at Tillman. We'll be back. Let's look at tonight's GMC truck leaderboard. Two veteran teams have at it here. Back in the Kingdom, Sam Grady and Jamie Holland are the deep men. John Casey, the hero of the moment, will kick it off. That last drive, 7 plays, 59 yards for the field goal. High kick. Grady waits, takes it to 2. And gets to the 15, and no more than that. Chris Warren, I think. Boy.
Warren made the stop. 1:56 remaining. The Raiders have a long way to go to win it or tie it. There's the story of the game to this point. 1:56 left, and the Raiders with a long road ahead of them. They're deep in their own territory.
And the best day of this season for Jay Schrader. He has thrown the ball very well, brought his team down from 17 points back. He's going to have to do it again. The first two, I mean, it's shocking to me. The first 200-yard game he's had this year, but he has thrown the ball well in the second half. They need 54 yards to get themselves in realistic field position for a field goal.
1:56. They have all their timeouts left. Nick Bell in motion. He dumps it off. That's that man again. Fernandez, not much there. He dives forward, close to the 20-yard line, and he's not getting up right away.
Yeah, but it's effort like that. The effort that he had after he got hit that wins games. The cumulative effect of effort that he had after he was hit helps you win football games.
The Raiders take their first time out here as Fernandez is struggling.
Well, he could take a shot right in the ribs. Another one of these crossing routes. He's run 4 or 5 of these tonight. And most of the time he's had to adjust and slow down, but not that time. A good reaction. Watch the effort after he gets hit there. You know, in slow motion, obviously that looks like a late hit on Brian Davis, but when it happened full speed, I don't think it was.
So they burn their first time out, and it's 2nd down and 7 yards to go. So that was a very costly play. Fernandez is hurting. It cost them a timeout, and they only gained 3 yards.
Yeah, they had to take a timeout because of the injury. But thinking about the Raiders here is you can't get thinking about too satisfied about just the field goal because you still have to win it in overtime. Why not try to win it here? And that means going for the touchdown.
2nd and 7. Tim Brown wide to the left. Willie Gault to the right. Complete to Brown at the 40, at the 41-yard line. Schrader hurries his troops to the line of scrimmage, a 22-yard pickup. That's the ticket if you're a Raider fan. Time is becoming a factor here. The Seahawks, of course, Cortez Kennedy and company, taking as much time as possible getting back to the line of scrimmage.
No audibles here because of the crowd noise. Interference.
It is. Yeah. One official threw the flag, the other ignored it, but it is interference, and it's in Seattle territory.
Yes, that's on Brian Davis, number 34, but clearly top of the screen, just the out route that the...
there's not much doubt about that.
The Raiders have been very successful throwing in the out route, but Mervin Fernandez is a much better out pattern runner than Willie Gault. Because Fernandez really comes back to the ball, cuts off the route pretty doggone well. And he's back in, Fernandez.
Now the officials have another meeting. They may say that ball was uncatchable. These guys have had a lot of meetings today.
Take another look at it. See how Schrader really opens up. He's a much better out thrower to his right than his left. When he throws it to his left.
Pass interference.
That's catchable.
Number 34 on the defense. Automatic first down.
When Schrader throws that same pattern to his left, he doesn't get opened up and throws it behind the receiver, but to his right, a very good out thrower.
It's an 11-yard penalty. The ball is at the 48-yard line. Tim Brown comes wide to the left. 1:09 as you see the time remaining. For Brown, incomplete. He had to turn around, couldn't cradle it in his fingertips. Dwayne Harper, Patrick Hunter on the coverage.
Well, there's two thought processes going through Terry Robisky's mind right here. Is in worst case, we want to get ourselves in field goal position before time runs out. And to give them a legitimate shot, they have to get the ball to the 33-yard line. That would give Yeager a 50-yard attempt. That's his career long. His second thought, of course, is win the game now. Win the game now. Get the ball up top to Gault or Brown.
Fernandez wide right. 2nd and 10. Running play. Bell. He's down to the 42-yard line. He's short of the first down. Nesby Glasgow out of the secondary. The reserve safety out of Washington made the stop, and a timeout is called. That's their second. 3rd and 3. The ball is at the 41-yard line. incomplete. Intended for Horton. Schrader just missed him, and it's 4th and 3, and here comes your ball game, perhaps, on this play.
It would have been a very difficult catch for Horton. You know, he kind of slowed down and settled, and I think Schrader thought he was going to keep running, and that's why the ball was out in front of him a little bit. If Horton perhaps keeps running, he runs right through the ball and catches it. Now, again, you know, we've already talked about Marcus Allen, but this is the kind of situation where you could run Allen out of the backfield on a linebacker, and he gets you the first down. There he is. He has meant so much. We talked about consistency, the kind of making plays. Marcus Allen's done it for a long time for these Raiders.
Trying to determine here if the Raiders have burned their final timeout.
I think it's an official's timeout, I believe, Skip.
For what purpose, I wonder? Don't forget the Stadium Show postgame. We'll follow this one, but we may have an overtime period. Well, what is the problem down there now? There have been problems all night long.
Well, they have the clock still shows the Raiders have 1 timeout left. And with 51 seconds, a lot of things if you're going through your mind. There it is. If you're Jay Schrader, you're telling your receivers in the huddle, make sure when you're running those routes that you get at least the 3 yards that we need. Run your routes at least that deep, you guys that are running the short routes. Then you're saying get out of bounds if you can. And then you're worried about getting the ball to at least the 33-yard line, 30-yard line for a legitimate field goal attempt.
Now the official starts the clock. Now he stops the clock again.
Please reset the clock to 51 seconds. 51 seconds.
Two seconds came off the clock because the official wanted it started, then stopped it. Now we're ready. 4th and 3. He's got Brown. It's where they mark the football. Man. It's when the Glasgow in on the stop. It's where they mark the football now. Did he get the first down? The clock is still rolling, and Art Shell, who never shows any emotion, finally screams at the officials to stop it.
Well, remember we talked about just running the route at the proper depth. But what happens when you're getting pushed around and bumped around in kind of bumping around coverage, you can get disoriented.
Did they make it?
Oh man.
Is the game to all intents and purposes over or not? We're about to find out. First down by a third of the football.
Well, he ran the route at the proper depth, I guess.
He really had that one measured. Now Art Shell wants some time back on the clock.
And I think he's right. Yeah, he deserves 4 more seconds there.
But he's not going to get them. 1st and 10 at the 38. Diving try by Willie Gauld, incomplete at the 35, stops the clock, 29 seconds. Now is the time, with all this excitement and all this noise, where coaches who are helpless over there can't really do anything, really have to keep their cool.
Yeah, and the kickers are all going, gosh, I hope they throw a touchdown pass so I don't have to kick it.
Schrader, 26 out of 49 for 260 yards. 3rd and 10. Rather, 2nd and 10, excuse me. He dumps it off to Smith. Smith is hit, dives to the 31-yard line.
Now they're in field goal range.
The clock is still ticking. Will they kick it now?
No, they still want to have a shot to win the game. They have a timeout.
He downs the ball with 6 seconds left, and now they'll go to the field goal.
This will be a, 48-yarder?
Right in that area.
It's going to be about 48-yard field goal. Now, remember, Jeff Jaeger's had a terrific year. His career long is 50 yards.
49 this year. Seattle calls a timeout here to It's like icing the free throw shooter. This time you try to ice the kicker with 6 seconds left in regulation. If this is good, we go to overtime. It'll be either a 48 or 49-yard field goal. 49 is the official.
He has had a terrific year. Here's the guy, Jeff Jaeger, who was saying in an article in the Los Angeles Times this week, a couple weeks ago, saying, hey, I don't ever really talk to Art Shell. I don't go to practice much. Quite honestly, I don't really kick that much in practice. And yet he's having a terrific year. 14 of 16 on the year, and now has a chance to win them. And kicked all their points against the Raiders, the 12 points that they needed to beat the Raiders. He was the guy to do it. But interesting, Rusty Tillman, the special teams coach from Seattle yesterday, said they felt they could block a field goal, and they felt if they did, it would come right up the middle.
To tie it with 6 seconds left. Jeff Jaeger. We got a tie game. And there's 1 second left. And overtime rears its head here. 20-20 our score. 1 second remaining. Boy, right down the middle here. He didn't shank this at all.
We have seen clutch defensive back play, clutch quarterbacking this second half, and clutch kicking by both kickers here late in the ball game. Perfect hold. Perfect hold.
Dan Turk snapped it. Jeff Gossett held it. And Jaeger kicked it. 1 second left, so they'll just pooch a kick down there, and then we'll head to overtime.
Rusty Tillman. You don't think these guys agonize a little bit over this?
It's only their living.
You know, Art Shell was saying it's. He said, I love game day. I love game day. You study all week, 5 days, and then you have a test on Sundays. Beautiful day here in Seattle.
First half, or rather the game, regulation is history, and now we'll go to the overtime period. We'll stay right with you for the coin flip. That's the next.
Kick it on first down.
Do you? Okay. Seahawks win the toss. Of course, they'll take the ball. In overtime, Seattle 3-4, the Raiders 9-4. We'll be back right after this. Well, who will the heroes be? Will they come from special teams? Maybe so. The kickoff will come from the Raiders to the Seahawks, who send Chris Warren and Derek LaVille deep.
Well, it all starts right here, really, for either of these special teams that are on the field. But if you're the Raiders, it's guys like Elvis Patterson, number 43, Dan Land, number 25, going down there and stuffing the Seahawks, keeping them inside the 20. That's their goal. That guy is capable of doing it. If the Seahawks, you have to find a way to block Elvis Patterson and Dan Land, get the ball out past the 20-yard line, and Ben Kemp won't have the luxury of just being able to rely on a passing game. Running game. He's going to have to do something himself.
Good kick. High, booming kick. Warren deep in the end zone, and he very wisely leaves it right there. That was a great kickoff. So Seattle has the ball at the 20-yard line as we're in overtime. First time in our 2 years together we've gotten to do one of these. Kemp in the second half has really struggled, as you see.
Well, it's been more than struggling. It's just, you can't have that out of your quarterback. It's really unacceptable. But now he still has a chance to win the game. I mean, that's all behind you, and you can be the hero if you get something done here. And to do that, I think he's going to have to find a way to get the ball to Brian Blades.
Blades wide to the left. Kemp will throw on first down again. Knocked away, incomplete. No flags fly. Ricky Ellison did the job defensively, the middle linebacker for the Raiders.
Well, he had his hand on the back, I think, of John L. Williams. What you're allowed to do, as long as you don't impede the receiver to such an extent that he cannot have a fair opportunity to catch the ball. And that's what the crowd is upset about. See, Kemp's really kind of locking in on this side, and that is going to allow a lot of guys to drive on the ball.
Anthony Smith checks into the game. They rush the passer. Bob Golick comes up. 2nd and 10. Kemp to throw. He's chased out of the pocket. He's going to run. He's got room. He's got a first down. Out of bounds at the 34-yard line. That's that added dimension. He can run a 14-yard scamper.
Making plays. Doing something unexpected when your team needs it, when the game is on the line. We talked about that tonight. We have seen some athletes, a lot of athletes, respond under a lot of pressure, a lot of duress. It's a very tense situation. This time it's Jeff Kemp. He almost gets manhandled by Scott Davis and then outruns Howie Long. That's a nice play by Jeff Kemp.
1st and 10 at the 34. 14-20 remaining in overtime. To the 40. Ronnie Lott, Eddie Anderson in on the stop. So was Scott Davis, but a good advance nonetheless.
Kind of a funny handoff there by Jeff Kemp. I thought for a moment he wasn't going to get it to John L. Williams, and actually he fell down after the handoff.
Boy, he just did slip it in there, didn't he?
Yeah, there was some confusion. I think he believed that John L. Williams was going to come in a little closer, a little tighter to him.
Second down, 3 yards to go from the 41-yard line. Williams again. Oh, what an open field tackle. Down he goes, Ronnie Lott. It looked like he was going to make big yardage, and Lott came out of nowhere to nail him.
Yeah, there was a big hole there, but number 42, Ronnie Lott, as he's done for a long time and still does for this Raider team. This is a guy that is not washed up. Ronnie Lott can still make plays. Playing a different role here for the Raiders this year as a strong safety. But when you need him in overtime games, you need to stuff a running back when there's a hole open, Ronnie Lott can still do it.
3rd and a yard. Nolan Harrison, a rookie out of Indiana, into the defensive line for the Raiders.
Watch him over the top, Fenner over the top, and Ricky Ellison, number 50.
Fenner, did he get there? Depends on the spot. I think he got enough, but let's see. Maybe not. Winston Moss among those on the stop. They didn't get it.
Jeez. I'll tell you, big defensive play there by Ricky Ellison, by Ronnie Lott, who was there, Eddie Anderson.
And Moss was there as well.
The right side of that defensive line. Lott was on the outside. Eddie Anderson comes up late, and so does Ricky Ellison. And Winston Moss, as you said, he was the first guy there. He got the initial penetration.
Tim Brown will try to return the kick.
Well, I'm not so sure you don't go for it there on 4th down. You punt the ball away the way the Raiders have been playing. You don't get the ball back. I think they should have gone for that one.
High kick, not too deep. Fair catch called and made at the 23. So that's where the Raiders will.
That's the dangerous thing about overtime. I mean, Chuck Knox had a situation. There was 4th and really about a foot. Decides to punt the ball, but in overtime, I don't think it's the right decision because the Raiders, have been hot on offense this second half. They've been clutch. They've been performing. You may never see the ball again. The game may be over.
Plus only a 29-yard punt that time. Coming up next, after this overtime, the Stadium Show postgame. Fred Hickman and company bring you live interviews with the Raiders and the Seahawks. Ernie Johnson and Ken Stabler will have a wrap-up of today's action. Craig Sager has a special report from the Redskins game. All that coming up on the postgame show. But right now, it's first down. Brown in motion. The give is to Bell. He gets very little to the 25, and he's pulled back. Jeff Bryant made the stop, the veteran out of Clemson, a 280-pounder.
Jeff Bryant, number 77, the defensive tackle for the Seahawks. He's one of those players who does everything you ask of him, and he's been doing it for 10 years. You ask him to line up over the center, he'll do that, and he'll knock you back. You ask him to run from sideline to sideline, and he'll do that. A former #1 draft pick made a big stop right there on first down.
2nd and 8 from the 26. 11:07 remaining in overtime. 20-20 is our score. Schrader to throw. He's got Smith alone in the flat. Didn't see him, saw Horton instead for a very short gain. Boy, if he finds Steve Smith, he reaches at least the 40-yard line. There was nobody near him in the left flat.
Well, I'll tell you, though, Ethan Horton, you're right, he was open, but Ethan Horton has caught 9 passes tonight. Now, he's pretty well covered there, quite honestly, early in that route. But you see how Horton, he doesn't stay covered. I've seen that about 3 times tonight, where initially when he first runs the pattern, he's covered pretty well by a linebacker, but he keeps moving, keeps fighting, comes open late, and makes a catch.
3rd and a yard. Horton is joined by Andrew Glover, 2 tight ends in the game. Well, no, he's not going to get there. Down at the 30, Cortez Kennedy made the play. The Raiders will have to punt. They tried to run wide on a 3rd and 1. Strange play. I don't know if that's what they intended to do, but that's what they did.
You're right, it is a strange play, but great penetration by Cortez Kennedy and the linebacker Como, too. Watch both of these guys. Kennedy gets through and makes the play, and then Como cleans it up. I'll tell you, that's good short yardage defense. Again, we've seen by both teams.
Jeff Gossett will kick it to Chris Warren. The Seahawks figure to get good field position here. There's the kick. What kind of a bounce ball. What a break for the Raiders. That kick was so bad, it turned out good. The ball is down at the 9-yard line. 61-yard kick is the way it turns out.
You know, that happens on turf, I think, a lot more than natural surfaces, grass. You get a bounce like that. And you can't really blame the punt. You can't really blame the guy trying to catch the punt, because if he goes over there, maybe he fumbles it. He had a long way to go, Chris Warren did. But it rolled, what, 30 yards?
At least. It was a terrible kick, and Gossett would be the first to tell you so, but he got a big break, and so did the Raiders. And now the Seahawks start at their own 9-yard line. Travis McNeil and Mike Tice, 2 tight ends in the game. That's his 3rd longest punt of his career as it worked out. From the 9, here we go. Williams, not much there. Ricky Ellison on the stop at the 11.
And Ricky Ellison would play this game in a parking lot with nobody watching. I mean, this is a guy who just loves the game of football. It's important to him. I mean, it means a lot. He studies film. He works hard. He's in the weight room. He's one of the first guys there, the last one to leave. The game means a lot to Ricky Ellison, and he plays like it.
Brian Blades has been quiet lately. He's wide to the right. Kane in motion to the right side. Kemp to throw. Is it intercepted? It is. The Raiders have the ball inside the 20. It was Ronnie Lott.
Kick it right now, Art. Kick it now, Art.
It was Ronnie Lott that was burned on the 50-yard pass earlier in the game that gave the Seahawks a lead in the 4th quarter. The people are already heading for home here.
Yeah, remember we said earlier that Jeff Kemp has a tendency to lock in on the receivers. His head's on the right side the whole time. What does that allow Ronnie Lott to do? Again, get that perfect jump. He read Kemp the whole way. And there have been just a basket full of great plays by safeties, by corners, by linebackers in the passing game. Man.
And Art Shell agrees with you. He's going to kick it right now, but the Seahawks call timeout. There's 8:33 remaining in this overtime.
You know, it's interesting. On first down, you do have a couple of opportunities. I've seen teams run a fake field goal on first down. And then if you miss it, then you obviously on second, you kick it on second down. But I say right now you got a kicker who is clutch. He's 14 of 16. He sent the game in overtime. End this thing right now.
Ronnie Lott's first interception of the year, the 52nd of his great career. He's headed for Canton one of these days.
Well, that man's already there, Art Shell, and if his team, wins this game, this may be the catalyst, the kind of game that gets you back in the hunt. Al Davis was saying to Kevin Kiley, one of our reporters yesterday, that some team's going to come out of the pack to win this thing. He thinks the Raiders could be that team.
Dan Turk snaps it. Jeff Gossett holds it. Jeff Jaeger kicks it from 37. It's over. Down by 17 at halftime. The Raiders come off the deck and win the game in overtime. And the first smile of the night creases the face of Art Shell. Chuck Knox heads the other way. And what a ball game we had, and what a finish. The interception by Ronnie Lott turned out to be the biggest play of the game. Trying to eavesdrop on that conversation, but Knox.
Great game. Great job. Great game.
Parts company with Art Shell. 23-20 is our final score. The Raiders win the game, and Al Davis is a happy camper, and so is Jeff Jaeger.
Well, he should be, Jeff Jaeger. 2 clutch field goals tonight, but it all started on defense. The game started with great defensive plays, and it ends with great defensive plays. This one by Ronnie Lott. Stuffed a short yardage play, then makes the interception.
And a great job of holding on to that ball. That was a major league collision with Brian Blades. Here's another look at the game-winning field goal. Tonight's McDonald McLean Deluxe Player of the Game has to be Ronnie Lott of the Raiders. He turned the game around with that interception. Kemp, in his last 10 passes, 1 completion, 3 interceptions, 6 incompletes, the 1 complete for 52 yards. 23-20 our final score, and we'll be back right after this.